But to get back on topic, what do we got here on the table for anybody looking? What is this here you have? I mean, obviously that's bud. It's pretty good looking bud,
that's,
too.
That's mango gelato.
Is that yours?
Yes.
So that's what you grow. That's the strain that you grow.
That was just a wild seed. That was
a luck thing.
Yeah.
Well, this calls for a joint. You want to do the honors? No, man. Too fucked up.
It's nice weed, huh?
Fuck yeah. Man. Fucking stoned. Fucking stoned. Really stoned.
Smoke weed every day.
You have to make it a perfect environment for that particular strain, because each particular strain grows better in certain areas than others because of elevation and the soils, all that. So you just got to be mindful of that.
So ideally, for different strains, you'd want different tents for this strain, one for that strain, one for another strain.
In an ideal situation, absolutely.
I probably wasn't until I was like 17 when I first smoked, or 16 or something, and I hated it. I got so fucking paranoid. I used to think I'd be like doing like this, like if you and me, if we all smoked, I'd be like, Matt, I got fucking, got boogers or something? Like, is my nose running?
I started out with a spider tent farm that I got off of Amazon. I think the whole kit was like $670 or something.
Now, what's that? Is that an easy thing to explain for people that don't know what a spider tent is?
It's a tent that you can control the environment.
It's a greenhouse, basically a greenhouse.
Basically an indoor greenhouse.
Okay. So strains will only get as big as they'll get, and it's up to you to get them to 100%.
Correct. And there's ways that you can, double, even quadruple your yield. So if the average yield of a plant, that you don't train it, you don't trim it, you just fucking feed it and just let it rock out. You could, if it says you're going to get a pound off it, you could train that thing with some low stress training or LSD, and you could make that thing give you about 3 to 4 pounds.
It's the one and only DRE. Dr. Dre love.
We have StickyIggy.com. Sticky Iggy is the company name. We are going to have all your growing supplies, whether it be your nutrients, your soils.
So it's not just going to be selling weed. You're going to go from top to bottom,
right?
With this.
Yeah, we're legal. Like we're all the different, everything you could possibly need for growing indoors, outdoors.
Get ready.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you? What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
Headphones on. Headphones on. Microphone in position. Microphone in position. Decks on. What's what you doing with that thing? Decks on. Tapes on. Tapes on. Volume on. Volume on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Hey. So, are you ready to have some fun? Because I am.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, we're back again. We're back again. We're back again. We're back again.
Oh my God.
I know you're gonna dig this.
I have pretty low standards.
I don't understand what's going on here.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
I love a good finger bang. Ew, what the fuck? You're a gross bitch.
Episode 51. We got Ian here, friend of Matt's. He does have friends, believe it or not. Nephew. Is there?
No, not a few.
Oh, not a few. Oh, yeah, I got you. Today is Saturday, August 13th. This episode comes out the 15th, Monday, as always. And today's guest, Ian, knows more about weed than I've ever heard of in my life. So we're going to do weed special.
Yes, weed special.
So we're going to learn about weed. There's some people, I'm sure a lot of our listeners are truck drivers, so they can't, but I'm sure there's plenty out of 17,000. I'm sure there's plenty that smoke anyway.
You hope there would. Hope that they got friends or girlfriends or wives.
Sure. That's right. We got Skylar in the studio. She's back here in the corner all ready to learn. She's been excited about this I got excited today.
Well, yeah. Well, before we get too carried away, I guess I have to apologize.
For what?
Because last episode, maybe I swore a little too much.
Oh, I got some messages.
Yeah, and I just want to tell everyone I'm sorry, and you can go fuck off. fuck.
No, they got messages, and I got listening, and you said fuck twice one time trying to say the word fuck. So before you said the word fuck, you said fuck again. I was like, oh, I kind of see what they're saying.
I was in a rare mood that day.
Yeah, you were excited.
I was feeling good. I was happy.
Sure, I don't blame you.
You know, Mike's back.
Well, yeah, so, Mike is back. He's not here this time because we only got the 3 mics. Plus, he doesn't know anything about weed, and he was kind of like he told us he wasn't. He was like, I'm not going to come. He says, I'm just going to get in the way. I don't have anything to say about it. I don't know nothing about it. I don't either. I don't know a lot about it. I've learned a lot from Ian.
Well, the conversation we had last night or the night before Thursday, you were all against weed and shit when you were younger.
When I was younger, I was. Well, I think that's growing up with my grandparents. I grew up with my grandmother, and she's very.
So you didn't smoke much in high school.
But she doesn't like alcohol. She doesn't like weed. No, but that's when I did smoke the most. Oh yeah,
you're Christian.
Yeah, my religion.
Yeah, your religion
makes it so. But I didn't. Growing up, I was kind of sheltered with that stuff. I didn't realize the people that do cocaine, the people that do weed, and then you find out like your parents did it when they were young. It's like, holy shit, this doctor does coke on the weekends. Like you learn all this shit. I never knew. So then as I got older, it got normal. But when I was like, I probably wasn't until I was like 17 when I first smoked, or 16 or something, and I hated it. I got so fucking paranoid. I used to think I'd be like doing like this, like if you and me, if we all smoked, I'd be like, Matt, I got got boogers or something. Like, is my nose running? And then I'd start like having to nonchalant with nobody looking. I'd have to like feel the front of my pants to make sure I didn't piss. Oh, it's horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. So understandably, I was like, fuck this shit. I ain't doing it.
So what else is going on in your life?
There's got to be other shit in my head besides just that. And then, so I kind of quit, and then I came back. I smoked again, like a couple years later, me and Mike, actually. We were like 17, 18. And then we just fucking laughed for hours, and I was hooked. So, well, not hooked, but I guess, it's not, you can't get addicted to weed, right? Is that a fact or no?
It's physically impossible to get addicted to weed.
Really? Why is that so? Because there's no chemicals in it that's gonna...
The amount that it would take for you to absorb that is preposterous. Like, it's just not possible.
Okay. All right. So, and then you didn't smoke, like, 2 or 3 days ago? You stopped smoking for like 2 days, and you were fine. Like, it didn't bother you at all.
Yeah, and I've been smoking. Well, I just started smoking again in March.
Right. Okay.
No, you'll miss it. I mean, obviously, like anything else, and mentally you might have a little struggle with it, but other than that, you physically are not dependent on it.
So it's not like a cigarette. It's not gonna...
No.
I still miss it because I had to be an adult and stop.
Yeah, well, our job screws it up.
Yeah.
I would smoke now more.
I'd rather smoke than fucking drink. Before,
to be honest, I probably would too.
Before I came working for here, you give me a bowl and a 6-pack of beer, I was good for the night. Wake up the next morning not hungover, feeling like shit and everything. I'd much rather smoke.
I told all my kids I'd rather them smoke it than drink.
Sure. Yeah, well, you always hear bad shit that happens when people drink, but you never hear anything bad about, other than falling asleep early at a party. That's like the worst case scenario.
Just no one...
Eating all your food.
I don't think anyone's ever OD'd off a pot.
No, you can't.
No. So, I mean, and then the thing that just pisses me off the most about the whole pot thing and shit is like everyone was like, pot's the gateway drug. Every drug I've ever did growing up wasn't because I was stoned off of pot, it's because I was drunk off my fucking ass.
Right. Yep. So it just comes back. Alcohol is the fucking problem.
Yep.
Right. People ruin their lives over alcohol, cocaine, heroin, but I've never heard anybody that ruined their life off of weed.
No.
Right.
And I don't think it's expensive enough that people... with coke, I remember people wouldn't pay their rent and shit. They get kicked out of their fucking apartments because they'd rather have an 8-ball.
You fucking...
No one like living on the streets because they wanted to, they got to get the next teeth.
Right.
That's not happening.
Yeah,
you fucking spend $300-400 for a little bit of coke to have fun for fucking 3 or 4 hours, and fucking $300-400 worth of weed will last you a fucking month.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
So how big is this? And I say I don't know anything about weed. I know enough from when I smoked a little bit, very little bit. But I got to dumb it down a little bit for some people because there might be some people listening that absolutely know nothing about it. So like an eighth, how big is an eighth? Would you say
3.5 grams?
Okay, and so that would be how big is that? Like a example of like a shot glass. How much would fit in a shot glass? Would you say?
In a shot glass, probably a gram or two.
Okay, so basically, a shot glass and a half would be an eighth.
Yeah, about that I would say.
Roughly.
Yeah.
And obviously how much you pack in and everything. But just for people that have
It
no
all
clue.
depends on the density and the sizes.
Sure.
If you got some fluffy stuff, you'll have a real big bag. But if it's tight, little nugs, you're gonna have little small bags.
Is fluffy stuff worse?
No.
No. So that doesn't matter. I remember in the day if it was leaf. Back when I was smoking, it looked like parsley. You had to pick seeds out, and you had to pick out stems and all sorts. They were popping and cracking.
Shit was brickweed. It was all like compressed.
Swish bugs in your weed.
Dirt weed.
We were just talking about that earlier too, but the how you would find seeds back then and be pissed off as all hell, but now seeds are like everybody wants seeds, so there is actually value in them now.
So you were saying too that the seeds, if done right, are worth more than the weed itself.
Absolutely.
Because of genetics and because you grow your own and get more, I'm presuming, out of the whole.
That, and once you, if you're a breeder and you create a strain that's strong and it's consistent time and time again, people are going to want that strain because you are steady no matter who grows it, how you grow it. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the same kind of consistency where it's the same THC levels, the buds look the same, it grows the same pattern.
So it's a lot like breeding animals, and it's kind of a crude example, but a lot of our listeners are like truck drivers, farmers, stuff like that. So I know this is way off, but like bull semen, a lot of people will pay big money for bull semen over the actual bull because they can control it and breed their cattle how they want. And more or less the same thing, I feel like. The seeds are the same. Well, they're both seeds anyway.
Yeah.
Just you can't spray this all over your face like you can bull semen.
Well, maybe. We could figure out a way.
I'm sure we could.
So how did you start doing this? You just liked smoking weed and it just kind of progressed into something you were like a hobby at first?
Like a hobby at first. Like when California became legal, a friend of mine, we grew up together. He's actually like only 4 days older than me. Mm-hmm. Went out to San Diego, started a dispensary, and I would go take vacations from work.
He did or we did?
He did.
He did, okay.
He did. He went the legal route. Like, had a lawyer. They told him where you could and couldn't go, and they had it for a couple of years, and they ended up being shut down because the town said it wasn't zoned for a dispensary, even though the attorney said it was.
Right. So they went through all the avenues they were supposed to, and basically the town just didn't want it. So they were looking for ways to.
And then they fined them just enough money to take all their profits. Like it was.
That's handy, isn't it?
Just slime bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but while he had it, I would take my vacation and go out and just learn. You know what I mean? Just soak it up and hoping that one day, New York would see the writing on the wall and make it legal, and here we are. So
what was the first state? Was Colorado, correct? Was that the first legal state?
I think Colorado. I think was the first legal recreational state.
Recreational, right? Okay, so there's a difference because they were starting in different states with medicinal.
Right. I think California was the first medicinal, I believe.
Okay. And then it kind of just kept spreading. Do you know how many states are recreational legal now?
I think it's 13.
13 of them.
I think it's 13.
And New York is one now, Colorado, California.
Yep.
And it just, I'm sure, goes
Maine
on.
is now.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, obviously.
Yep. Oh, yep, they are.
Jersey.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
a lot of our listeners are in those states. So.
Almost the whole Northeast now. Upper part of Northeast is legal for
Vermont.
Yep.
So, would you say at this point in the game, is it about smoking for you, or is it about the grow? Because I feel like you're so into the science of it and the breeding.
To me, it's a passion of the whole industry, as a whole.
Right.
The genetics to, like as far as genetics go, like you have different kinds of apple trees, and you don't want to get the crab apple tree, so you're gonna go look for the apple that you like specifically, whether it be a McIntosh or a Fuji, or whatever. And you're going to look for the guy who has the best.
Like Granny Smiths.
Granny Smiths, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dirty Each their own, bud. Whatever blows your hair back.
He likes the old plumpy ones.
Yeah.
With the wormholes in them.
It's harder for them to run away.
That's right. That's why I like cripple chicks. Yeah. It works out good. They can't get away. So obviously you just started smoking, you liked it, and then you did this California thing with your friend a little bit and started to learn.
I just learned. I know he did his thing, and I just paid attention. And like I said, I was hopes it was going to come here, and it finally did. And I started out with a spider tent farm that I got off of Amazon. I think the whole kit was like $670 or something.
Now, what's that? Is that an easy thing to explain for people that don't know what a spider tent is?
So it's a Spider Farmer is just a brand. It's all it is. And it's a tent that you can control the environment.
It's a greenhouse, basically a greenhouse
basically
for
an indoor greenhouse.
Okay.
You control every piece of the environment so you can provide the ideal grow.
Okay.
Without any bugs or anything like that.
And that's how you get some of the pictures, because some of the pictures I've seen that he showed me, he had an Instagram and he was showing me some of the pictures on it, and some of them are crazy. Like there's you couldn't tell there was a fucking stem, and some of them, they come right out, they look like that cactus coming right out of the ground.
Yeah.
And that's how you get that effect, that.
Yep, you control it, you give them a good environment, not a perfect environment. For you. You have to make it a perfect environment for that particular strain, because each particular strain grows better in certain areas than others because of elevation and the soils, all that. So you just got to be mindful of that.
So ideally, for different strains, you'd want different tents for this strain, one for that strain, one for another strain.
In an ideal situation, absolutely.
And how many of them do you have now?
I have 4 tents altogether now.
Okay, so you could do 4 different environments.
Right.
At this point, how many would would there be many more environments than that? I mean.
No, I mean, there's tons of environment. There's strains from all over the world, and they're all at different times. I mean, I wouldn't say there's got to be more than, 20 different environments, I would say, comfortably. I mean,
okay, so 4 isn't really enough, but it's probably...
No. I mean, there's so many different phenotypes in the marijuana plant itself. It has the most terps and phenotypes of any plant, of any species on the planet. And they're learning more about it and finding more every time. So in order to have one individual environment for that would be there's no way 4 tents would be enough.
Sure. So you'd need a building. You'd need a fucking warehouse.
You need a farm.
Right. Now, how would you control that outside? How would you? Because I've seen on the thruway coming up through Saugerties, there was a couple for 1 year. There was a field, 2 fields, full of it.
Yeah. Well, that was hemp.
Oh, okay. And that, I'm assuming, doesn't need to be controlled as much?
It still does. I mean, it depends on what the customer wants when you harvest.
Okay.
It all depends what they're doing with it. I mean, I would still not want bugs in my plants when I, pay for somebody to, or whatever amount of pounds of product that you're going to get from them. And then you have, crickets and fucking grasshoppers and shit. And you're
right.
I'm going to be a little pissed.
Sure. And I imagine at that stage, if you're planting fields of them, somebody's buying pounds of it, like hundreds of pounds, I would imagine.
Like the hemp industry, you can just harvest. Some companies will come and just take the whole plant, because you can make so many different things out of hemp now. It's ridiculous. Like even the building materials are stronger and more fire retardant than any of the conventional or even the newer products they have on the market now.
So they're making lumber out of it, more or less.
Lumber. They're making building blocks. They're making
really.
Yep. They're making whole walls.
How is this not? What's the problem with making that legal? If they're stronger than what we're using now, why haven't we switched over to that taxes?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I don't know the answer to that. I don't. Maybe it's because it's not the same thing. Like you're creating it. So it's not like a metal or
right.
Like a glued, I'm not a glued package, maybe.
Because it makes sense, because there's probably not enough money in it right now for people to line your pockets.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, that's a big part of it. That's the whole reason why.
Something with government, I'm sure, is involved, and they can't. Yeah, somebody's hand isn't in somebody's pocket yet.
For back, people forget that years and years and years. I think it was up to the 1950s or 60s. All the rope, maybe even later than that, all the rope in the government's military was hemp. It was
really up into the 50s ish.
Yeah, I think it was 50s or 60s, but it might even be even later than that. It might even be into the 80s.
So hemp rope is stronger than the typical what we have for rope. What the hell is rope made out of now? Do we know?
Nylons and different.
Well, like natural rope. Like if you got like one of them old brown ropes.
No, I still think that's hemp.
Yeah, that's hemp.
They still make hemp ropes.
They still make it. They still
really?
make it. But now there's a lot of synthetic ones out there too. But you can still buy it. That's the most expensive rope you can get is hemp rope.
Okay, so would you say something like fields of it would be used for something probably like that, more or less, if you needed that, a massive amount of them? I mean, these fields are huge. I mean, they were like 20-acre fields, each one of them, so there was plants upon plants.
There's another one in Schoharie.
Oh, is there?
And it's also creates your CBD as well. You can have CBD plants.
Which is all stuff that I want to learn about, because there's so many... So I guess to simplify, what's the difference between hemp and weed as I would know it? I mean, this is weed as I would know it, and then there's hemp.
Right. So the hemp doesn't have any THC in it. That's the difference.
Are there buds? Is the
You'll have buds just like the normal plants, but they'll be a little smaller and not as pronounced, like not as flavorful, I would say. But,
okay.
Well, isn't there still, but just very, very small, minute?
0.03 or something like that. Like it's very small. Some are stronger than others, but majority of them have 0 to.
So you couldn't smoke enough hemp to get high off of it.
No, you're going to burn the shit out of your throat.
Right, you'd get sick probably before you got high off hemp. So hemp is strictly building, making things. It's
paper, clothing. There's a million and one things that you can do with it.
Okay, and then weed, obviously, marijuana. Is it all marijuana, or is hemp different than marijuana?
Hemp's different from marijuana, but it's all cannabis.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm wondering, because it's all, when you think hemp and marijuana, you think the same. I always thought the same thing. In fact, being dumb about it, I thought hemp was just the plant that the weed, like the bud, came off of. The rest was hemp, but I don't.
Right.
So I'm learning a bunch of shit about it. So is there any money in hemp? I mean, there's got to be, or people wouldn't do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you into that at all?
Not presently, no. I mean, it's just it's a big overhead to start out with to try to make any kind of money on that, I believe.
That's probably what we were talking about. Like, it's just you need such a massive amount of an area to make any money off of it.
And you got to have somebody who's ready to buy a lot. You know what I mean?
Sure. Right. It costs a lot probably to take care of a field that big.
Right. And it's a lot of manpower and time, and for your return, it's not really there for me, at least. I mean,
right.
To each their own. But,
yep.
I mean, eventually, if I could get into it down the road, maybe I would. But I don't see why I would take all that time for doing CBD or anything like that, just because I don't think the money's there.
So CBD is what? Is the like juice? Is the oil?
Yeah, it's so there's cannabinoids within the marijuana plant and the hemp plant, and the CBD is what helps like your joints, your back pains, your headaches, if you feel like nausea because you have fibromyalgia, or you have a slew of other autoimmune diseases,
or poliosis,
or Parkinson's.
Poliosis. Skylar's got poliosis, so that might help her situation. So the medical end of it would be more of a hemp thing. Is that correct or no?
No, not necessarily. No,
okay.
there is medical, medicinal marijuana that for people who are going through cancer and they lose their appetite, so they'll give them, I think it's a sativa that will give them, the munchies, so to speak.
Okay.
There's people who are suffering from insomnia or something to that nature, so we'll give them an indica that puts them in the couch, and they're going to go,
so that
good night's sleep.
For people that don't know, indica is the tired, you smoke it and you fall asleep, sit on the couch for hours or whatever.
Yep.
And sativa is more like we were talking that, like Skylar, she smokes and she's got to clean, she's mopping the floor.
It kind of gives you energy, kind of motivates you to do stuff. Keeps you like your eyes are clear, like your vision doesn't change, so you're open, clear-headed.
Okay, so that was an issue back too when I was smoking when I was young. Is you'd go to a party and somebody give you a blunt, you'd smoke it, and then 20 minutes later, I'd just be sitting on the couch staring at the blank TV. And that was another reason I didn't like it. Probably because I got the wrong stuff.
Yeah, you got stuck.
But yeah, I was always like,
well, I don't even know. I mean,
that was pretty good stuff then.
Did you even think back then, though? Did anyone really know the difference?
No, back then.
Oh, no, I think we just got what we got. If it happened to be that, that's what.
Yeah, if you saw a pistol, you were excited because it was like, oh my God, is that a hair?
Yeah. Well, you remember back in the day when like Kind Bud first started coming, right? Everything was brick. The old school brick shit. And
tasted like fucking laundry detergent at times. Like, what
back
asshole
in our
did
day
that?
in school, there was a big shipment came in and fucking like Tide laundry detergent, and so everyone got it. So you get the one asshole, I got this new shit. It's fucking killer, and you smell it. It's fucking laundry. It's the same shit I got.
It's like, come on, man.
It's laundry detergent?
Yeah, that's how they smuggled it in.
Oh, in laundry detergent bottles?
Or wherever the hell it was, powder, whatever the fuck it was terrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god,
really?
It tasted terrible.
Wanted to hear a 10-year challenge. Holy shit!
but it's funny though because this is how far Bud's come along from. Because back in the day, it was like you got a nickel bag, $5 that was big, a 10 bag, a 20 bag, and then you got your eighths and your half ounces and shit.
I never had no dope like that before in my life, man. That's the heaviest shit I ever smoked, man. I mean, I smoked a lot of shit.
What do you
before,
say?
man.
Like our senior year, junior years when Kind Buds first started coming out?
I would say our junior year.
Yeah,
maybe
so
sophomore year.
I remember finding like someone would get it, be like a nug, like one of those big nugs. And like, how much was that? That was like $400.
Really?
For like a
because
fucking
back
gram.
then it was hard to get.
So back then it was called Beasters. Kind, but it was called Beasters. It was grown on Indian reservations.
Oh, so it was,
and they would not waver from that strain. That was it. That was all they were doing, and they did it like clockwork, and they were good at it, man. Like that was, it was the same damn thing.
So you got the same effect every time, which was probably an all right thing back then. I mean,
for a while, but then you kind of become immune to it. Like, all right, so I used to use a gram to smoke a blunt, and I'd be stoned.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had to smoke 2 grams, and then you're fucking smoking an eighth to get stoned, and it's like, Jesus Christ. At the time, everybody was beating you over the head because they wanted $50 a fucking eighth.
Yeah.
Right. $60 an eighth at one point. Oh, there were headies. Like, get the fuck out of here, headies. It's the same fucking thing, dude. All you did was add some fucking bread to the goddamn jar and fluffed it up a little. Like, you're not fooling anybody, man.
Well, I feel like with bud, you can't cut it like you could the old school shit.
You can.
Can you?
You can. There's ways to do that, but you can tell. Like,
really? Well, probably somebody like you probably could. I probably would never know the difference.
Oh, I mean, yeah, maybe. But if you like, the one way is that people like to spray with sugar water to add weight to it.
Oh. Oh, so they cut it almost invisibly, like you just
you're adding
make
weight.
it so you're not giving the customer as much product, but it feels like it's as okay.
Right.
So they're not actually cutting it with parsley or whatever like they could back then. You could.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, no, they don't do that no more.
But the same thing, you're still paying for something you're not getting. I guess when it comes down to it.
And then you got to look at the other end of it too, where it's the horrible side of it is people are fucking lacing it with fentanyl and shit.
Yeah.
Why do they put fentanyl in everything? They're doing that with Coke too, aren't they?
Yep. I will never understand killing your clients.
Right.
What the fuck? That is the worst business plan ever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to tell
these guys are paying my bills.
One and done, guaranteed. Like, I want you to keep coming back, man. I want you to be happy and keep spending your money with me. I don't want you to. I'm gonna get him for $40 real quick, and I'm never gonna have to see that guy again. What the fuck?
Right.
Now
That's a stupid business plan, like you said. Or I can get him for $100 and something.
Right.
Or
I can get him $40 every week.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems dumb.
How could you tell if it was laced with fentanyl?
I honestly, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I've never had to deal with that problem.
I don't think you could tell.
Yeah, I mean,
because it takes such a small, minute amount to fucking OD.
Somebody could have just fucking misted it in there or whatever. You know.
And what is so if it's not going to add weight, if fentanyl doesn't add weight, doesn't add size, like mass, I don't understand the fucking benefit of putting it in something.
I don't understand the benefit of putting it in anything.
Right, and it's killing people on top of that.
Yeah.
Like, especially with like Coke, I think there's so many things that you can cut Coke with. Why use the one that's killing people?
Why use a downer with an upper? Like,
it seems
happy
so
speedball.
Stupid to me.
Yeah, good luck, Heart.
What do they use? Baby formula, powdered sugar. There's different things you could put in Coke, but yet they use the thing that'll fucking kill you.
They always did that, or before they would put like different types of poison and shit in Coke too. Like,
weren't they doing like rat poisoning for a little while or something?
Somebody was saying they were just spraying weed with fucking Raid and shit back in the day. I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They were calling like a black tie or some shit, and it was like,
and if you were just being evil about it and just wanted to kill people, after you did that and then gave it to and it got spread all around, you wouldn't know if you killed anybody anyway. So you couldn't, if you were evil like that, you couldn't even get the satisfaction of knowing you killed somebody.
Right.
So what the I just can't see a fucking benefit of putting fentanyl on anything.
No.
And it isn't fentanyl becoming a thing. People just do fentanyl. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yep. Well, I mean, fentanyl is a painkiller.
Oh, it is.
Doctors,
yeah, like
you can prescribe
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like when you get hurt and you're in the ambulance, they'll give you like morphine and fentanyl mix. But like, but you know, they know the minute amounts.
Right. They know what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, it's cut down so your body can handle it.
Like minute amounts. You know what I mean?
So fentanyl isn't necessarily a poison. It's just when people put it in that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
they put too much or too little, however it works.
There's no reason the average citizen should have any access to that amount of fentanyl ever. There's no reason for
and
it.
Narcan don't do shit for it.
You want
either.
to talk about an opiate epidemic? Why the hell would you allow that to be in the hands of normal people?
Right.
As easily as it is.
Well, they can freaking fix the whole.
But the country wants to bust balls about pot.
Well, that's the whole thing I was about to say.
Right.
Are you
They
fucking
want to bust your
serious?
balls because you want to take a nap on the couch, but they don't worry about the fucking.
About to say is, you know, I'm a firm believer doctors are the reason why all these people are fucking hooked on like opiates and shit like that.
Big Pharma is responsible for that.
Yeah,
Sure.
You can. The football players right now are fighting for it, or actually, I think they might even won. I think they're allowed to smoke pot now. Because a lot of them said they'd rather smoke pot after a game to relax and heal their body than fucking get shot up with the fucking trainers in the back room with fucking morphine and everything else because they can't move.
Keep injecting shit with your body until it falls apart.
With weed, is there actually benefits to pain, or does it just make you not care so much about the pain?
No, it numbs the receptors in your brain.
Okay.
Or blocks the receptors in your brain.
So it's actually it's physically doing something to the pain.
Correct.
It's not just making you forget
Right.
about it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So there is actual.
And then there's all the other shit too, like with seizures. Now they're proving that the oils or stuff are
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I found a YouTube video that I've seen in the past. And this guy actually, he's got Parkinson's, which is like the shaking. For people that don't know, it's like the shaking thing. And he smokes and basically it goes away. And if you guys listening, you'll have to just understand, but YouTube, you can see it.
Hi, Larry. How are you? Come in. Come in. Good to see you.
I mean, can you imagine having to shake like that?
Right.
Uncontrollably.
It would suck. It would suck. Especially knowing there's something out there that can stop you.
Yep. But I can go to jail for it.
So this guy, for people listening, this guy is doing this whole, you know, you guys can understand. His hands are going, his head's going. He can't control his muscles.
Now, what's he taking, like an oil there, I think?
Yeah.
Don't do too much. You're going to be asleep all
It's a distillate, I would assume.
So is that CBD?
No, I think that's straight THC.
Okay.
Relax.
So like a distillate syringe like that,
We know
it's
from
a
animal
very
experiments
potent
that the endogenous
source
cannabinoid
of
system
THC.
is very important in regulating motor activity, that very type of activity that is.
So now they're fast forwarding after he did this.
So within a minute. Within
right.
2 minutes.
So for people listening, there's a timer. It shows the time on the bottom of the screen, and it was what 1:37. He put this in his mouth. It's now 1:39. They fast forwarded a little, and he's went from shaking uncontrollably, like his whole body is going, can't sit still. Now he's just chilling on the couch, just relaxing.
That boosting certain branches of the endocannabinoid system is helpful in relieving symptoms of Parkinson's.
He's just laying there like a normal person now.
Anecdotal information.
His
We know
foot's not even shaking
that
anymore.
certain
Yep,
patients
nothing's
who
moving.
smoke marijuana
hands
experience
behind his
relief
head, now he's
of their
standing up.
symptoms.
Yeah, I'm curious to see him stand up now or whatever he's doing. Get up.
So quickly. Isn't that amazing?
He's showing his hands perfectly
Smile
still.
on his face.
Hands afterwards.
His smile
were
is
rock
everything.
steady.
Right.
And the dyskinesia left.
The voice is coming back. It works most of the time.
They got a before and after here. If you guys check it out on YouTube if you're interested in seeing this.
He looks normal. You wouldn't even tell there's anything
You'd
wrong
never
with
know.
him.
Did you guys eat lunch? You got the munchie like a motherfucker.
He's ready to eat something.
A person like me could really use marijuana. It makes me pretty angry that I can't get it in my home state.
The number one frustration that I have is knowing that there is this untapped potential that comes from what marijuana is teaching us to generate new medicines and being stuck because of financial issues or political issues.
It's all political issues with marijuana.
We now know that medical marijuana controls dyskinesia, and yet it's not.
So what pisses me off about it, and I don't have this problem, thankfully, but is these people that, like these kids that have cancer that could use this stuff and really help them live a better life while they're living with this. And the government they just won't let you. It's almost evil.
I think the government is waiting till they can figure out a way to know exactly how when's the last time you smoked? How the time frame was?
Yeah.
So it's a testing thing, is what they're waiting on?
I think so. I think ultimately that's what it comes down to.
Do you know of anything that they can do for our situation with CDLs? That they can do like a DWI stop, but for weed, or like a DUI stop, or is there anything in the works that can
DWI stop? Like that's you can go through both. You know,
I guess
for everything. You know, if you're driving on
no, what it basically boils down to with us is when can they tell the last time we smoked?
Yes.
Okay, right. I said it wrong. I guess you're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at for commercial drivers and even non-commercial drivers like. For DWI's standpoint, because you can drive, they can consider driving while ability impaired because you're treating it just like alcohol every other step of the way within the industry. So,
right,
you would have to, treat it the same as well.
Right.
That's why I got mad at Nicole a couple weeks back.
I knew them kids wouldn't be quiet.
We were on our way here, she's smoking up in the car and I'm driving. Mm-hmm. She's like, well, it's legal. I said, I know it's legal, Nicole, but I'm driving. You understand? If I get pulled over right now and the cop smells this in the car,
right,
like fresh smell, not just like it's sitting in the baggie, like your smoke coming out the window, it's my fucking license right now.
Right.
Yeah,
well, it's legal. I'm like, I know, Nicole, but there's no way for the cop to tell if I wasn't smoking or
you
not.
know what? You gotta tell her this. It's legal, but even right now, it's still illegal to drive and smoke. It's never going to be legal to drive and smoke.
I think of it like
Ever.
alcohol. Alcohol is completely legal, but you can't drink and drive.
No, I know that,
Right.
but
It's exactly
there's
how it is.
But there's no way for say if we were driving and you had a roadie with you. At least the cop can give me a breathalyzer and prove that I wasn't drinking. He was the one with the open container.
He can fucking prove. He can look at both of you and tell which one's been smoking and which one hasn't, just by the fucking looks of your eyes.
Yeah, or he could just be a dick.
But I feel like there needs to be more of a solid scientific test.
Oh, absolutely.
Like with alcohol, you can do blood, you can do your breathalyzer, and then it's like, okay, I got you. But I feel like with weed, it's based on his opinion of your eyes didn't look right, or
no, that's true. But I definitely agree that they have to have like a mouth swab or something that they have to come out with.
Do you know of anything?
None
Have
right
you
now.
heard anything that's coming out for?
They're trying to do like a mouth, to figure out the mouth swab.
Okay, so they are actively working on that.
They've been for a while.
Okay,
they've been a while.
And I kind of agree with what you're saying. I feel like once they have something nailed down that they can tell, I think even then at a federal level and with our license, that's the problem. Our license is federal.
Right.
So regardless of whether it's legal in New York or not, we're fucked.
And then think about it, if you're looking at like federal wise, look at how much money they're pouring into the war on drugs, and then that's part of that's gone to fighting the import of marijuana. Like that's a lot of money that the feds. You're still gonna fight it, but you're not gonna as you know what I mean. Like it's not gonna be as much. Like,
right. You could take the whole marijuana thing right out of the equation.
Yeah, because now it's so legal and abundance of the United States. No one really gives a shit about what's coming from Mexico.
Right.
No one wants to keep your shit, dude. Like, we got our own.
And two, I think legalizing marijuana like this has made it safer. You don't have to get it from back ass fucking guy in an alley anymore. You can grab it from a store or somebody that actually grows it and does what, like you said, you would grow it if it became that way to make a profit off of it. So why would you fuck over the people that you're buying it off? So that alone makes it safer, I think.
Absolutely, and not for nothing. Like you're gonna smoke your own product, like so the industry. If you're getting into the industry is a very, for the most part, everybody looks out for each other. Like there's individual grow communities within your area and different groups on Facebook. Like I'm part of GGD, Great Green Door.
Do they have a would you say it was? You can plug them if you want, if they have like an Instagram or something.
Yeah, they're Great Green Door. They're on Facebook. They have a Discord. They are on Instagram. They're everywhere.
Okay. So if you just search for, what is it, Great Green Door or Great Green Door? Great Green Door. Okay.
They have like an elite club where you can become a member and you get like free coaching services, and you get discounts and exclusive genetics, like strains that aren't available to anybody else. And it's a more of a community where everybody helps one another. Like,
it's not as cutthroat like other industries.
Right. So he would have no problem plugging them like that, because it's not like that. I'm sure if they got bigger, it would only make you bigger in the long run.
Right. No, so at the end of the day, I tell everybody, because I want to make sure like everybody thinks or knows that I'm not looking to get rich or anything like that. I am looking to get to the point where I am comfortable if my car breaks right after the warranty expires, because that's usually what happens.
Yep.
I don't give a shit how much it costs. Just bring it back to the fucking dealer and get it fixed. That's where I want to be.
I think that's where we're at with this show. Like, I don't need to be a millionaire off of this, but I would love to be out if my car broke. If I got a flat tire on the side of the road, just call, bring me a tire.
Right. I have no problem being, the lowest brand on the shelf, so to speak. I don't give a shit. As long as at the end of the day, there's enough for everybody to eat in the industry. There's so many different avenues.
There is no better business plan than to just love what you do.
Right.
At that stage where you're not people that go into things to get rich, I think, have a whole different skewed outlook on what they're doing. But if you go into it just loving what you do and having a general passion about what you do, you just naturally become rich and don't even realize it, I think.
Absolutely. That's how I look at it as. Like, you get so involved, and it's a passion so you want to continue to grow and get better.
Right.
So it's not like you're out just blowing money, but you're reinvesting in yourself, and you're reinvesting in your future, and you're reinvesting in your generational wealth, because now you got your kids involved and your little cousins, and it's a family thing. And his family and his friends, and you're taking up everybody with you. So it's not just you alone, pumping your chest, standing on your soapbox, like. I don't need none of that in my life. That's just some arrogant shit to me.
I think with even with the podcast game and when I used to do the YouTube videos for trucking, which a lot of our listeners have come over from that, there's such a gap. I don't know how it is. I'm sure it's the same with marijuana. I mean, it takes some time to get established. You don't just come into the game and a week later people are buying your shit, I would imagine. Right. But the same with this show. And some people don't understand, they're like, well, aren't you making, some of these people are making thousands of dollars. Yeah, well, they've been doing it for 3 or 4 years. Sometimes you got to, and I think that's where the passion comes in, like you're dealing with your stuff, getting established. You're pretty established now, I feel like, though, right?
I'm getting there, yep.
But, I mean, you're not a millionaire from it yet. And I think people would give up on their dream because if they don't have the right mindset for it, they'll give up because they're not making any money. Like, this fucking sucks. But if you're passionate about it and enjoy it, I feel like you're just going to do it regardless of the money.
Absolutely.
And keep doing it until the money comes.
Like, I'm going to be straight up. Like, we haven't profited shit from when we started, because I just keep reinvesting it back into, upgrading.
Basically, the only profit you've made is that you get free weed now.
Right. I'll get a couple bucks here and there, but it's not, for what I've done, I don't know.
You're not paying yourself a salary yet.
No. Nope. Part of the company pays part of my NIMO bill. That's it.
So, do you have a company?
I do. Is
that something you're willing to talk about? Or
yep. We have StickyIggy.com. Sticky Iggy is the company name. We are going to have all your growing supplies, whether it be your nutrients, your soils.
So it's not just going to be selling weed. You're going to go from top to bottom,
right? With this. Yeah, we're legal. Like we're all the different everything you could possibly need for growing indoors, outdoors. We'll have,
which is like the most unselfish way to do anything, because he's basically saying, here, if you buy this couple of $1 thing, you can grow your own from here on out and don't even need me.
Right. So basically, what I'm gonna if my goal is to have you buy a kit from me.
Okay.
And and there's different kits to buy. I mean, I know not everybody can afford what everybody else can afford. So there's kits in sizes and prices for everybody. From $300, you can go all the way up to thousands. Like, there's all in between.
With anything, really.
Right. I mean, in a way, you think about it, it's kind of smart, though. I mean, yeah, you can sell just the weed and get people fucked up and shit, but I mean, people are going to want to grow their own shit, so they're going to need a place. They're going to need like a freaking Hewitt's to go to get their shit.
Sure.
Right.
So that's what it kind of sounds like. You're going to be able to supply them with like the nutrients and the different things you need to grow your stuff.
So chemicals, seeds, soils, tents, lights, watering systems.
There'll be nutrients. So you're going to be like the soils, like you said. The different pots. We can do hydroponics. We can give you fiber pots, whatever it is. Your pH tester, your soil humidity tester. Like, there's whatever you can imagine that you need. Ventilation, whatever.
Because at your level, it's not just grow a plant and pick the butt off. At your level, from what I understand, what Ian does is it's more like you got like spray bottle, like mist bottles, and you're checking pH levels and lime.
He's got fungus bags hanging up in there, right?
Right. Well, they produce CO2.
Yeah.
Right. So this is like a next. This ain't. I don't feel like Ian's just a dealer. Like I feel like that's gone. That's gone. That's a thing of the past.
Yeah.
Like there's more. Like people see, and this is what I'm talking about with my grandmother. Like she would assume he's just a drug dealer, but it's not. It's so much more than that now. Being legal, and there's so much more science in it.
You know, I get a lot of that stereotype at first, but then you spend 25 minutes with me, and I don't shut the fuck up about it.
No, I know. He's been doing it how long now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested. I love it.
No, I don't mean just today.
I was going to say, that's what this whole show is about, so I'm all for it.
I remember back in the old days, we'll just get fucked up all day long. Now it's like, yeah, we're going to drink, and then, I did this with this feed, and I split this, and I put that at him and hung it up over here, and then I sprayed this. I'm like, Ian, I love you. I really do. But you're on a whole nother level than I am with this shit.
I see what you're saying. I mean, I'm still interested because I don't know him that.
No, don't get me wrong.
It's a lot of fun.
I think what he's doing is fucking phenomenal. I really do. You know, but it's just that's his that's his passion.
Yeah.
You know, it's that
I can live, eat, and breathe this shit all day, man.
Well, and that goes back to what we were saying. It doesn't sound like you give a fuck if you make any offer. You're going to do it anyway. It's a hobby to you.
As long as my family is comfortable, and like I said, comfortable means I can not have to worry about the bill being fucking $3,000 from the dealership that should have cost me $80.
You don't have to go buy another beater car to go to Maine.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Like I just fucking did.
Yeah. Stay home and fucking. I'm gonna go, but you stay here. Figure it out.
So your plan, as you said, you want to create kits. You want to be more of a quote unquote hardware store for the weed industry, the marijuana industry.
Right. That and so what
the weed depot.
So
the weed depot.
If you come for you're big and you're just getting into the game and you've been interested for a while, but let's be honest, you really haven't grown anything. Not even a fucking cactus can survive your green thumb. We're going to be able to help you out. So what you do is you purchase a tent for me.
Speaking of, our show cactus is doing great. Prick, the show cactus.
It's actually growing. I noticed. You see some new growth on there.
I've never been able to keep any plant alive ever. And then since
it's hard.
So children are out of the question.
It's hard to kill a cactus, though.
There's more plants, and they're all alive and doing better.
So the show cactus here is doing pretty good. Whole Prick is pulling through. It's got some new things coming out. So you could.
And the one in the living room.
We could turn this into a hydro, or what was it? This room could be our grow room.
Yeah, grow room.
Some plants over there.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be a big weed plant.
Well, there's a difference between growing and like the hydroponics. Isn't like the hydroponic stuff like all done in just water?
You're right. It's done in water, and nutrients are added to the water, and it's recirculating.
Yeah, so there's no dirt or anything involved.
No.
Okay.
Well, there's water involved. There's something involved.
Well, there's water, but it's
a means
not
to get the nutrients to the plant.
It's not like you put it in the pot and you grow it like a tomato plant. It's like it's grown like in just.
So
water.
In other words, this cactus here on the table is not hydroponics. That's whatever else that is.
Yep.
That's all right. So that's your plan is to open a store eventually.
Right. So that's going to be probably I'm hoping and praying by the end of this month. The heat wave has kind of. The garden.
Oh, so you're close to this. This isn't like a dream for like 3-4 years out. You're like close to opening a store.
Yeah. Like I wanted to be open last month, but and what I'm doing, the heat really gets to the garden. The kids don't like that too much. So like really,
that's what you call them, the kids.
Yeah. So it's a constant fight, trying to make the temperatures right, and when it gets really hot, they get really thirsty, and when they get a little dehydrated, they get cranky, and then you gotta just. Make sure you get the water again. That's right.
So with the store, how are you going to control this? Everything's going to be indoors in tents.
So the store is just going to everything that I'm growing is not going to be in the store. That's not.
So this store isn't going to be a dispensary, or is that what it's? Am I right by that?
No, right now New York. I think New York just opened yesterday. Maybe I have to double check that.
Which would be the 12th of August for anybody that's listening to this at a later date.
Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. They just opened up how to get applications or start applying for dispensary licenses.
Okay.
You see, I feel New York is totally behind on this. And the only reason why, because it was a political fucking thing.
Fuck yeah.
Because Cuomo was trying to save his ass just because it legalized just, right before he fucking like that.
Well, it's funny, right? He got in trouble for that rape stuff, and then all of a sudden weed was legal.
Smacking grannies.
Yeah.
And so they're behind the fucking 8 ball completely on this. They have no clue what the fuck they're doing.
Sure.
And then some of the fucked up things, which I don't think it's fucked up. I see what they're kind of doing, but now they're saying there's preferences to convicts or criminals that got arrested for this shit. So say
that's one thing that drives me nuts.
All right, so everybody's getting pissy about that. So let's think about this for a minute. So let me explain it like layman's terms. You just let a guy out of prison that you've had in prison for the past 20 fucking years of his life, and all
his life is ruined.
Right. So the guy probably went in when he was 20 years old, 22 years old. He's now 42, just getting out of fucking prison for something that's now fucking legal.
Right.
And he has no fucking skills because he decided, like, I'm fucked. I'm going to be here for 40 years because of whatever. His sentence was big and he wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
So why the fuck learn anything if you're just going to be in
Trying
prison?
to be here forever anyway. Right. What the fuck's the sense?
So now you just release this dude and he has no fucking skills. He has no fucking means to do and provide for himself. What do you want him to do?
And this shit really pisses me off. I think about this with DNA tests. People have gone away for murder for 40 fucking years, and then they find out, oh, that wasn't actually you that killed him.
And you just say, hey, my bad, bro, but now you're free.
Yeah.
Yo, suck a dick, dude. Like,
yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's
and I shouldn't get a first whack at that fucking license. Are you kidding me?
Should.
I'm not saying it's a
and
bad.
More, I think you should get more.
Absolutely, those people should get it first.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, though. But then you got people say like you who've never got in trouble for anything, when you might get put farther back on the list now in order to do everything.
I think you got to do it
do.
fairly. I think there's absolutely the first people that should get it are the ones who were legitimately like didn't hurt anybody, didn't fucking
got caught with a bag in their car or something.
They were fucking moving weight, but they weren't being physically and violent about it. Like they were the fucking somebody's uncle that was out of the basement of their aunt's house that was fucking moving pounds, but you had no fucking clue. She thought it was like parsley or some shit, like one of those kind of ants. So, okay, kids, no problem. And,
right.
But other than that, like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like I'm glad that they're doing something for these people, but I feel like it's not enough.
Yeah.
20 years in jail for something like this that is now legal. That person's life is fucking ruined.
Absolutely, man.
You can't come out of jail after 20 years being in a penitentiary and just go back. Oh, I'll just grab a job at Hannaford or something. It doesn't work that way.
Right. It's like 20 years, like that's a long time. And not for nothing, they say it happens. Like you get institutionalized, you get used to living a certain way.
Some people would rather be there, I think.
Right. Well, at their point, like they're more comfortable there because that's their life. They know how.
I know that firsthand. I got people I know who's basically institutionalized.
Yeah, I have a cousin that's going back and forth with that right now.
Well, 20 years in jail, you come out of jail, now you got to think about the stress. You got to get a car, you got to get a job, you got to pay all these bills, you got to find somewhere to live, and nothing's cheap. Right. I mean, we have jobs, and we've had them for how many years, and we still can't hardly afford. Imagine coming out and being in you can only pick from a handful of jobs that's willing to hire you.
Right.
I mean, fuck. So I guess, like you'd be... the only thing is weed at that point. If you were like a dealer or something back then and got in trouble for it, so you might as well make something out of that.
Right. Like, think about it, man. Like you get out, you get released from prison early because the thing you were in prison for is completely legal now.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's almost. We've talked about Social Security. It's a completely different subject, but it's the same type of a matter. You pay into this all your life, and then when you go to collect it, they're like, sorry, we're out. It's really no different than the thing. Like, you've spent your whole life in jail over something, then they're like, well, just sorry, you're out. Like, you're good to go now.
Right. Yep.
Like, they're doing you a fucking favor.
So rather than the state having to, than the state having to pay all those payouts to people, because let's be honest, New York can't fucking afford anything because it was whatever.
Waste. I think a lot of waste.
Let's put up signs. I mean, no, we can't put them up. We'll put them up just to fucking pay to take them down, just to pay to put them up again. That's fucking.
Are you talking about Cuomo's fucking New York? Happy New York signs or whatever. Yeah,
we'll get them made in a different state. Whatever, asshole. Anyway, where are they going with that?
We were just talking about jail and how they're stupid rules.
I don't know. You should hit the high button right now.
Where is it?
Fucking stones. I'm fucking wasted.
So we're back to being released, and so I think you should be able to instead of the state having to pay all those payouts, because there was a lot of people who were in prison for fucking pot at the end of the day.
Sure.
Like, whether you got caught.
I feel like that'd be one of the bigger
There's
bigger reasons to go to jail.
What the hell was it? 80s, early 90s, where it was 3 strikes, you're out type thing. So even if you got busted with like
the Rockefeller laws,
with like a half ounce of weed, if you got busted 3 times with that, you got put in for like a long time.
Oh, it had to be felonies, dude. You couldn't get 3 misdemeanors and you're going to prison for life. Like,
I don't know. I was just okay. So a half ounce of weed isn't a felony, but you got caught with enough to make it.
Yeah, like
a pound or whatever. Most fucking weed dealers really fucking aren't real violent, really. Besides,
like we talked about. I mean, I guess like gangs.
I mean, the gangs and shit like that.
Do you remember back in the day, our days when we were teenagers? You had South Swan Street.
Yeah, I used to love ripping them off.
Right, yeah. You're lucky you lived.
I said the same thing to him when he told me that story.
Yeah, man.
You motherfuckers don't care how big you are.
No, neither does the bullet. So, like, that was like an open drug air market, man. And excuse me, and those people that ran it, the family that ran it, they were very well known to, shit happened. Sure. They were violent about it. Like,
I feel like at that level, though, the people, they're connected. Like, not maybe the people that are selling, but I feel as it goes up the ladder, it's some type of a mafia or a gang or
it gets to the point where I have more people than you do.
Right. You're right. It gets as big as the government at that point.
You're going to arrest these 10, and there's another 10 waiting to just starve and waiting to hop in their spot.
Yeah.
And that's the only time when it gets like violent, when it's a situation like that.
So what do you think that weed being legal now, what do you think that's going to do to crime? Do you think it's going to lower crime? I mean, I'm assuming so, the little I know.
You might see a spike right away. I think you're going to see a spike because you're going to see a lot of people wanting to try to rob the dispensaries because right now it's still federally illegal. Mm-hmm. So banks don't want to deal with you. So
okay. Right. So you can't just go to Key Bank and be like, hey, I need a loan to open a dispensary.
Right. There's a lot of banks won't even fucking deal with you at all. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times you got to find like the hometown.
So
kind of bank.
Even being legal, it's still a pain in the ass, just probably as much as it was before, as far as doing it legit with loans and with getting backed by banks and so forth.
Right. It might have to be like a credit union, maybe, who's okay with it, or there's ways around it. So
I know there's a lot of places that are kind of coming around. I don't know about banks yet, but like where she works, it's not such a big deal anymore, I guess. Is correct? Like you can test positive for it, and they don't care so much anymore?
You can no longer test somebody in the state of New York for a job requirement for marijuana.
Oh, really? Other than a CDL thing, but that's a federal thing, so that doesn't have any effect.
That's a DOT thing.
Yeah. Okay, so if I want to go to work for Walmart or a Price Chopper or something, they
cannot drug test you.
Or Stewart's, right. Okay.
Yep. Anywhere.
Yep.
The only time they can ask for you to take a random drug test is when you have to be clearly impaired.
Right.
Okay, so if you're really fucked up and you're legit like rolling around the fucking floor of stone, then they can do something.
Or if you get hurt or you do damage over a certain amount or some shit.
Right.
Okay.
Like now you can carry, like before you would get in trouble, like, what were you saying, an ounce? You'd go to jail or whatever? That's what you're
something, 3 strikes or something.
Up to 3 ounces now and not get...
you get up to 3 ounces on your personal possession.
You can grow.
So you can, and I know the New York State Fair made it legal to smoke as long as you smoke where people would smoke cigarettes.
Right. Don't be a dickhead. That's all it is.
Right, and that comes down to just respecting other people in general. You're not going to smoke a cigarette next to a newborn baby. Right. So why would you smoke weed next to a newborn? Like, just go to a place and
don't be a dickhead about it.
But as far as I could be packing a bowl and a fucking sheriff could walk by me right now and they can't do a fucking thing about it.
I've rolled a joint right in front of the cop, man. Like no one's gave a shit for a long time.
You know what? You're right. I don't think people have cared much for the last couple of years.
Yeah,
really.
It's been a long time coming.
As long as you don't have 8 pounds in your trunk.
Yeah, like have you like looked at the news for the past like 5 years, man? Like.
So do you know about paraphernalia?
Yeah.
Because are you allowed to carry it now, or?
Yeah.
So you can have.
I got pulled over and I didn't smoke and it wasn't hot. It wasn't packed and it was in there. They can't take it.
No. No, they can't take your weed either as long as it's under 3 ounces.
So even if it was packed, you're saying like you could literally
if the bowl's packed and it's warm and it looks like a hit was taken out of it, you're getting in trouble.
Okay.
Oh, right, because we're talking about driving.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. He was getting in trouble.
But if we're sitting out here in the driveway in some fucking lawn chairs and a cop rolls by and we're packing a bowl, nothing they can fucking do about it.
Nope.
Okay.
I was rolling a blunt the other night on the front porch. Fucking cop drove by. Fucking he waved to me. What's going on, buddy?
Shit. Yeah.
See you later.
The thing of it is, I think most cops used to smoke it at one point. And they get it.
They always have. Are you kidding me?
Or right, even while they're.
Get out of here, kid. Mm-hmm. I got some good shit tonight.
I'm into stewards, and she's like, I have to munchie so bad right now. Thank you for letting me in. Like, I had to pee so bad. There's nowhere to. Like, I think she definitely still does.
Dude, I used to play poker at a fucking a cop's house, and as soon as he opens the door the first time I'm there, he shoves a bong in my face. I'm like,
is this a fucking test?
Right. He's like, you want to hit? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
I don't smoke that shit.
Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you go first. So he fucking takes a big old rip and blows it out. He's like, now you want to hit? I'm like, absolutely. Like, that's all I needed.
I went to a party last summer, and it was nothing but cops and paramedics. And I'll obviously never say names, but yeah, all of them. Leaving there, burning out and shit when they're I drank fucking 12 packs with them, and they all took. I felt so fucking safe that night.
Cops are the biggest hypocrites.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yep.
I told you about my bouncing time at Phillies.
Story with
where I caught a bunch in the fucking bathroom doing shit.
At the end of the day, that's a job for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's still just their job. They're still human.
99% of them, right? There are people like me and you. They put on a different uniform to go to work.
Right.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah, I never felt so comfortable leaving that place after a couple beers in my life. I was like, what the fuck? I'm following them guys. They're all weaving in and out of the fucking. I'm like,
everybody that can pull me over is gonna get pulled over first.
Yeah, right. Of course, the difference is they'll get let go and I won't. That's what.
That was like the night when we were at the restaurant on the lake over here.
Mm-hmm.
Remember me and Nicole, and they had that charity softball game.
Yep.
Well, there was probably
I bet there was 15 20 of them there. Yeah,
sitting around. And
all having
they
beers.
were piling up the Millers.
Yep. No, I felt safe leaving that night. I mean, I only had 2 or 3. I don't drink and drive anyway. Really, if I do, I'll go out and dinner and have. Well, right. I used to.
Not any less either.
I used to. What kills me is I know people that would drink and drive, or they would drink 20 beers on a Saturday night for fucking 15 years, and they'd get in their car and be smashing through fucking fields and shit, and they'd make it home and never get caught. And it never happened to me, luckily, so I guess I don't have that bad of luck. But the way I look at it, I'll go out to dinner somewhere, have 3 beers with dinner, and I'll get a fucking DWI on the way home. So I was always like, fuck it, I'll have one, I'm done, I'm good, I'll have soda or something, water.
My ex-wife fucking worked at Maggie's on Western Avenue years ago, and that basement of that restaurant would flood all the time when it rained really hard, because it was over by SUNY, so that area just floods really bad all the time. So one particular night, she's just getting off of work, and then the fucking storm comes, and there's shit all over the basement, whatever. And they're like, "Oh, do you mind staying and helping me clean up, whatever? Or, I'll feed you, I'll pay you. Or, I can't. Just give me a couple beers, and we'll be good." Dude, it's like 95 degrees down there. Like I'm sweating like a whore in church, and they just keep like feeding me beers. I'm not getting drunk because I'm sweating them out as I'm fucking working. So this went out for like, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours. I finally leave and get in the car. I had a Jeep Wrangler at the time, no doors, no top. And I go across the street, you cross Western Avenue, and you go into SUNY right there.
Is this where across the, what is it called now? The City Line?
No, Maggie's wasn't, no. Where was Maggie's?
Maggie's was on the Western end.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was down by across the street pub and shit, right?
Yeah, past. Yeah, but it's right across, like the main, where the mobile is right there.
Yeah.
University Mobile or wherever the fuck it is. Right next to that is the main entrance on Western Avenue.
Okay.
Across from that, the mobile is where Maggie's used to be. I think it's like, they said they're making a Ted's or some shit like that now. But anyway, I fucking, go right across the street, and because I didn't use my directional going into SUNY at 11:30 at night with nobody else around, that's why I got pulled over, right? So the guy goes through all the fucking tests and all that shit, fucking hands me my license back. He's like, all right, man, you're good to go. As he says that, a friend of mine that was helping me clean the basement is fucking hammered. Like, he pulls up behind the cop and turns his lights off. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then the cop's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's like, do you know him? And if I lie, like, he's gonna fucking.
Right. Plus, you've already gotten off of this, so you're like, I just better just be nice to this guy.
Right. I am fucked either way. This is a lose-lose situation. So I was like, yeah, I know him. He's like, okay. He walks up to my buddy's car. He opens the door, and my buddy literally rolls out of the car. Like
fuck, of all places to pull over.
Like one of their first like Tiburons back in the day.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, you like roll like there's like a fucking fire roll right out the fucking door. I'm like, holy shit, dude. So he didn't even give him any tests. He just fucking shoved the tube in his mouth, and he's like, "Yep, you're done." Like, get in the car. He comes back to me. He's like blowing this. I'm like, "You literally just told me to get out of here. Like, you gave me my license back." He's like, "Not after what he blew." I was like, fuck, man. So I blow, and supposedly I blew a .19. I'm like, how the fuck did I blow a .19? And I wasn't visibly intoxicated? Is that fucking possible? How is that possible? I'm fucking .2 almost.
I feel like it was just a 2 for 1. He could go back to the station and tell him he got 2.
That's exactly what it was, I think, dude, because that was a fucking joke when he got back. Sure as shit.
Yeah.
You got a 2 for...
Yeah. That's the only reason that happened. Or else he was going to like go. He probably knew to begin with it.
Yep. Fucking cocksucker sat right in the gas station and waited for people to come out of the bar.
What'd you say to your friend next time you saw him?
Dude, I was ready to fucking
What the fuck are you doing, you idiot? What the fuck?
What his excuse was, he just wanted to make sure I was okay. I'm like,
why?
Yeah, for real.
That's just fucking common
there's a cop
sense.
there. I'll be fine.
If I knew if we were leaving the same place and I saw you get pulled over, I'd be like, dude, I'm your friend, but I'm not stopping. No, I'll call you later to make sure you're
get a hold
okay.
of me if you need a hand.
Yeah. Call me when you're ready to get out, so I can sober up real quick and come get you. But I'm not stopping, bro.
Well, we talked about in the show before. It's better to. I'm not condoning this for listeners, but better to leave the scene of the accident if you've been drinking. Like, I mean, if you hurt somebody, that's one thing. But if you just drive off into a fucking field and you're stuck, get the fuck out of there. And then you're going to get in trouble for that. But I don't think it's going to cost as much, and you're not going to get as much trouble as if you got a DWI.
Call them, and then when they show up, fucking as soon as they get close to you, fucking crack it and throw it back.
Oh, yeah, maybe that would work, too.
Bam.
I wasn't drinking, but now I'm all fucking stressed out. I wanted a beer. I didn't think. I wasn't thinking. I just fucking had a couple here while I was waiting.
What the fuck?
The closest I ever came to a D-dub was back when I was living back home on the bottom of the mountain, and I was at the Tidge. And it was one of those all...
Sounds like Ian knows this story.
It was one of those all-nighter type things. I got out of work at 3 early, and it was like 11, 12 o'clock. I'm driving home. Cop hits his fucking lights at the bottom of Central on my street where I lived. I said, I'm not pulling over here because I'm fucked. So I pulled to my fucking house, pulled in front of my house. Comes out, gives me the breathalyzer. And this I lived with my parents at the time, too. I'm like, fuck, I'm getting a D-dub right in front of my fucking house.
Well, your dad had some connections, too, I'm sure. So that would have been going through my mind.
I was so fucking hammered. I don't even think that...
Oh, you were hammered beyond connections.
Yeah, I don't think that would have even fucking helped.
All right, I get that.
Yeah, so
there's times when you've had a couple beers, like, oh, who do you know? And you just name some names. But there's times when...
This wasn't one of those deals. I was fucking like, I was fucked. I blow into it. He comes back and he goes, well, seeing your address is right there. I really recommend you go inside right now. I don't want to see you out for the rest of the night. And I said, nope, not a problem. Oh, that was the closest I ever fucking came to getting a D-dub. I'm pretty sure if I stopped at the bottom of the fucking road on my street, I would have got a D-dub.
Right, as you were. There was some times. Have you ever had that time where you were going? I've had a couple beers. Didn't happen when I was drunk. It ain't much of a story, but you'd be driving and the cop would go the other way and they'd hit their fucking lights and their brakes. I remember. I'm done.
Yep.
I've lost my fucking job. I've lost my license. I'm fucked.
You pucker real
The
quick.
motherfucker come right by me. I pull over. I think I'm getting pulled. Drives right the fuck by me. No, it was like a fucking heaven helped me that night or something. I don't know if they got a call or what they got, but there was I fucking heart was going pounding.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit!
I got pulled over probably by one of the most dumbest cops ever on Fuller Road, just past the old Stewart's. I'm in high school. I'm like 18. I think I was 18. I had a couple of my buddies had old Monte Carlo, so we had like the old school bench seat in the front.
We're fucking riding around like training days. You and
fuck yeah. But sitting in the middle is fucking. I got like a little fucking like 1.5 foot bong, just sitting in the middle of the fucking seat. Cop pulls us over. You remember Ralston? It was me and him. Cop pulls us over. Oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're just driving around, coming back from his house. We're doing this. The fucking bong's just sitting there. I'm like, fuck. And we were doing bong hits while we're fucking driving.
Sure.
Fuck. He goes, all right, license and registration. This is where my name actually saved me. So he goes, oh, Mr. Reddick. I'm like, yes, that's me. So, were you Pat's son or Jack's son?
Ooh, that could have made a big difference.
Yeah, it did.
All the world of difference.
I said, well, no, I'm not Pat's son. I'm Jack's son. Yeah, I know your father quite well. You have a good night. If I said my uncle, probably would have been a whole different fucking
Yeah, that
story.
could have went a different way. That really easy.
But the fucking thing's just sit. He had to fucking see it. I don't know how he didn't see it.
He did.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yep.
It's one of the guys that doesn't give a fuck 'cause it's weed.
So, listen, speaking of weed, I mean, that's what the show is about. I don't mind getting off topic, but to get back on topic, what do we got here on the table for anybody looking? What is this here you have? I mean, obviously, that's bud. It's pretty good looking bud,
That's
too.
mango gelato.
Is that yours?
Yes.
So that's what you grow. That's the strain that you grow.
That was just a wild seed. That was
a luck thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That was somebody had it in the bottom of a bag somewhere.
And your growing style is what makes it look as good as it does. Is that correct?
It was on. Not really. I mean, it's a strain. That's what makes it, gives it its look, gives it its phenotypes, its flavoring. It's all on how you trim it and how you dry it.
Okay.
And how you cure it, so to speak.
The watering and checking the levels of the soil and the lighting, that just makes it bigger or smaller?
That makes it grow to its optimal, the best it can achieve.
So strains will only get as big as they'll get, and it's up to you to get them to 100%.
Correct. And there's ways that you can, double, even quadruple your yield. So if the average yield of a plant, that you don't train it, you don't trim it, you just fucking feed it and just let it rock out. You could probably, if it says you're going to get a pound off it, you could train that thing with some low stress training or LST, and you could make that thing give you about 3 to 4 pounds.
No shit. Per plant.
Per plant, where you're taking the lower leaves off because you don't want the plant to send its energy to those lower leaves, because all the energy comes from the ground and it gets sucked up the plant, up the stem. Excuse me. And it goes all the way to the top cola. Because if you looked at the marijuana plant, usually there's one main cola, and that's the one that keeps growing up straight. And then you have all the different branches or nodes as offshoots, and those are where your smaller buds, and they'll continue like a Christmas tree.
Okay,
the branches will get bigger, but the buds will get smaller. Because now you got to get longer to get to the light.
Oh, so this is all about trying to get them to the light. That's how you trick them into.
Right. So what you do, you want to bend the branches down so all your bud sites are pretty much even, and they all come up together. So you're growing a canopy, and you want to have the light be able to penetrate through that canopy into the center of the plant, and that's why they call it lollipopping. You take all the lower branches and shit off, so the plant sends no energy to those sites anymore. It sends all its energy to the bud sites.
Oh, okay. So and that creates.
See, I don't
more
have
of
patience for that shit. That's why he's good at it, because I've seen him do the work where he does it, and I'm like, I'll be down there hanging out with him and shit like that. I'm just like, I don't got the patience for that. I just put the shit in the pot and let it grow.
Out of one of those tents, how big are, like in feet, how would you say the tents are, like 4 by 4 by?
So I have 3 4 by 4 by 84 inches tall.
Okay.
And I have 1 2 by 4 by 5.
Now, out of a 4 by 4 tent, how many pounds, if done right, if you took your time and did everything you needed to do, how many pounds would you say you could get out of those? Granted, different strains are going to produce different, but like a typical...
if you were to maybe scrog, you could probably... And scrogging is you put a...
Thank you. There's a lot of people that wouldn't... No, I appreciate it.
Scrogging is you do like a trellis in that. So it looks like a tic-tac-toe board, pretty much.
Okay.
And they sell them like as a kit already. You need to tie into each corner of your tent, so you have it looks like a tic-tac-toe or not tic-tac, checkers board.
Okay.
And you pull your plants through, and as you take all your bud sites and you keep pulling them up and training them so that you fill that whole 4 by 4 is all your canopy, and all your bud sites are now becoming one bud site. They're all growing up together.
Okay.
So there's not one getting more light than the other. They're all getting the same amount of light, and you could probably get 2 to 4 pounds, if not, I would say at a minimum 2 to 4 pounds if you do it right.
Okay.
And a 4 by
so
4.
a safe number is 4 pounds per tent. So you could do 8, maybe 10 pounds. You could probably do at least 10 pounds out of these 3.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, what would 10 pounds of a typical strain go for if sold? If you did it that way?
It depends on how you're selling it. If you're selling it retail, depending on the quality and the THC level.
And certain strains will go for different prices, I'm assuming?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Like if you get something that has 18%, and it doesn't really, you don't get stuck in the couch like you're supposed to, or you smoke it and you really don't feel any differently. I'm not going to pay you extra for that. You know what I mean? But for the stuff that I can take 2 hits and sit on the couch and get stuck for 3 hours, I will pay top dollar for that shit.
Because you like that anyway. And that's a personal thing, I'm assuming. Some people don't like that, I would imagine.
I like indicas. Absolutely.
He likes lots of things.
So what would that...
Sure.
Sometimes he doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, that was just to let us know you still here.
Right, he just likes to talk a little.
It was, because this is like one of our more serious fucking shows. Look, I've barely said the F word at all.
You're fine.
But this is one of our more serious shows, so it's kind of like I'm trying to get used to this a little bit, doing more listening to talking.
This is definitely not like really a comedy show like our normal thing, but I'm okay with that because it's like a special.
This actually feels like a Joe Rogan show.
Sure, I'm actually having fun with it. Let's informational.
Yeah.
That's why I think I'm bugging him with all my questions.
What you need to explain too is about the bullshit fucking gas station joints you could buy.
Yeah. So it's CB.
Oh, is that what we saw when we were getting the vapes?
The Delta 8s and the Delta 9s. Okay. So a lot of those Delta 8s, Delta 9s, Delta 8 is it's a THC, but it's a different. They just changed the molecule. So it's technically not the THC that gets you stoned, so to speak. But then they came out with a way to harvest the THC out of hemp, what little THC was there. All those Delta 8, Delta 9 plants are only allowed to have 0.03% THC.
Okay.
Is it still weed, though?
Technically, in a very down the line, like it has 0.03. To me, it's a CBD. Like there's so minuscule amount of THC that it has to be.
Because I walk in, because we can't smoke. So, like, if I was to smoke one, would I still get high from it?
Maybe, I don't know. You're kind of weird. I'm being honest, man.
No, I know. Well, I've seen you bought one before.
Yeah, just to prove my point. Like, yeah.
Well, did you get high from it, or
no? I was just said to prove my point.
Well, does it too make a difference that you smoke a lot? So that probably affects that too, right?
Yes and no. I mean, tolerance is definitely higher. But there's times where I'll smoke something for the first time, and I'll be fucking, pretty good and ripped and stuck in doing, sitting on the couch and watching a show that I have no wants to watch whatsoever, but it's too much effort to fucking put your thumb on a clicker to fucking turn a channel. So you're just stuck watching Oprah or Dr. Oz or some shit because it's just stuck on that channel. It's like, fuck me.
I miss those days.
Yeah, me too. I wish I was stoned right now for this show, to be honest. I wish we could do it.
So I wanted to go back to you were saying about the grow tents. So
yes.
When you buy a kit from me, what's different from us and anybody else that sells them is that I'm going to come to your house and help you set them up.
Okay. All right.
I'm not just going to take your money and say, all right, dude, deuces, and then hope that you come back because you're going to get frustrated because you're not doing it correctly because no one's ever shown you. And you've watched videos and shit, but you're more of a hands-on kind of person, which I'm a hands-on kind of person. Mm-hmm. I had to go through my fails to figure the fuck out. So I want to help you set your whole tent up, and then part of your kit package, is going to include a 5-pack of auto seeds. And, we're going to get you started, and then we can have so I don't have to come to your house if you live far away.
What's an auto seed?
So
good question. Yeah, I don't know.
An auto is a strain that is crossed with Rutarellus, and that enables it to be from seed to harvest in 13 weeks.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah, most 13 weeks. Some are
and
even
how long
less.
does it take to dry it? So how long, from seed to smoking it, how long would that take?
Seed to smoking it, so you're looking at probably, I would say 4.5 months.
Wow, which ain't bad, really.
No, it all depends on how your cure goes. Because you can. There's strains out there that will finish in 10 weeks. I mean, you're getting a lot smaller yields.
Mm-hmm.
And
why is it? Because you're rushing it. You're not doing all
it's
that.
only got It doesn't have that whole, 10 weeks of vegetation growth. Because the plant has different grow periods. Like it has its seedling, and then it's vegetative, or sapling, that vegetative, then it goes into its flowering, and then it will start to fade itself out when it's done. Because they're annuals, they're not.
Jeez, he's got me thinking about all this talk. I got a whole garage over there with not much in it besides a snowblower and a fucking.
I can make.
You could put a lot of tents in that fucking garage.
Yeah, but we could just make one big tent.
Yeah, and I can't smoke
you
it, so it'll be all profit.
because you pay the electric now, so that won't work for you.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, electric will might jump up quite a bit in the wintertime.
And he's fucking cheap as fuck. So,
well, not anymore.
If it's gonna, if you can make quite the income off of it, I don't think you'd give a shit what the fucking.
That's true. A garage full of pot. I bet you the electric bill would be my least of my fucking problems.
Exactly. It definitely pays itself off.
But well, how much could I legally, like, if a cop showed up, how much could I legally?
You're
have
allowed
there?
6, and she's allowed 6.
So yeah,
you're allowed 6, or is that only? Can I not work it that way?
You are allowed 12 plants on one property max at a time.
So I can't like backdoor into like you're my buddy and you're just storing them here. Okay.
No, but if you look at it though, that's 12 plants on your property. But if you can do shit like he does, and you can get a plant to yield 4 pounds, I mean, 4 times 12 is what?
4 times 12 is what?
48.
48 pounds.
Yes.
That's a lot. That's still a lot of fucking
well,
shit.
for being so fucking stoned all the time, you're smarter than all of us.
Numbers game is me, bud.
That's just such a stereotype. That people, like stoners are slow.
Actually,
and
I feel you would be perfect for that, actually, because you have the patience.
48 pounds. How much could I sell 48 pounds
you have
for?
the patience for
Let's
that
say it was this. Say it was that.
Are you wholesaling or are you retailing?
No, people are gonna stop by and buy a fucking this and that off me.
So
the course
if you could sell it at 25 1/8, you're gonna get $2,000 a pound.
Times 48.
96.
96,000.
$96,000.
Cash because people are stopping by.
And is that legal?
No,
not at all.
Oh, but it's legal to grow. So as long as they don't catch me selling it,
right?
That's legal.
Right. So they're gonna.
I can have that here in boxes.
They're gonna give you $96,000 for that pack of cigarettes.
Wow.
But I'm gonna give you the pounds for buying that.
Oh, right. You're buying a pack of cigarettes off me, but that comes with.
That's the whole gifting thing that they're trying to fight.
That's what you were trying to explain to me. Okay.
So they're getting pissed because A, they're not getting their fucking tax money off it, and B, they're trying to say, well, it hasn't been tested and proven not to have insecticides and bugs and this and that.
So you're gonna come over and buy a used fucking tire off me,
Listen,
and you're
lady,
gonna leave with
we've
4
been
pounds
all been buying fucking weed with all that shit that you. Nobody has that shit in their weed.
Laundry detergent.
Already, right. Fucking 20 years ago, we were smoking Tide. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, we're way ahead of the curve in that one, right?
Yeah.
Tide Pods, got nothing. But fucking...
Holy fuck. When's the store open?
You weren't even born yet when that happened.
When's the store open? I might have to invest into this.
Hopefully the end of this month. Really hoping so.
Any location you can give or no? If not, if you're not comfortable.
It's a 1314 Central Ave in Colony. It's the left side of Make Your Mark Tattoo.
And you're that close to where you're comfortable giving that address that it's gonna. This is gonna be.
Just give me a couple of weeks and.
So go to that address in 2 months and you're good to go.
I think we should do a show there sometime.
So I'm definitely
once it gets open, it's established and shit.
Sure.
I'm just waiting on windows to be repaired, and then I'm good to go, pretty much. So.
And that's completely legal. It's got to be right at that point if you got a storefront.
Right, like I said, I'm selling all your growing supplies, but I'm also going to have.
Well, too, I could use that to grow tomatoes.
Right.
Like they.
Exactly.
Maybe I want to grow garlic.
And
so,
I'm doing the head shop.
Garlic.
Your bowls, your bongs, your pipes, whatever. Fucking.
So we'll definitely, when that opens, we'll go down there and make a day out of it. Hang out with Ian and stuff.
And then we're also doing custom and exclusive apparel.
Really?
So every strain that we have a one-of-a-kind graphic design made. And then
when you say every strain that we have, is that every strain that you personally do?
Right.
How many of them do you have?
Strains that I can grow at the moment is a little over 760 something.
Oh fuck! I was gonna have you name them. I didn't know there was so many. But
yeah, no.
What would be your top 3? Your favorite, or what would if you could only sell 3 strains? What are the names of the 3 strains you would sell? If something came along, it's like you can only do 3 of these.
See, that's a tough one. It depends on what market I'm going towards.
Which leads us into we haven't done the would you rather section.
I was just
weed
thinking
would you rather.
I think we should because we're hitting that.
I haven't touched any of the articles that we wanted to talk about.
I think we should do that.
See, this is what happens,
would you rather?
Man. This is what happens. I warned you. I I warned you.
This is actually probably a really good. This is a really good show.
It really is. It really is. I want to test him.
We can make a mini series.
I want to test him on that if I can.
Are we doing the test or are we doing the would you rather?
Well, the would you rather. I got to test for him too afterwards to check his knowledge. Not that I don't believe he fucking knows 100 times more than me, but I just want to be a dick, I guess.
Could I just finish telling about the?
Absolutely.
All right. So the kit, or rather, so we'll give you the seeds and then we'll help you. Get him started.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you on that.
It's okay. So
he does it all the time.
I do.
It's okay. We can either you can call us and we can do like a video chat where we schedule a time like weekly or whatever, or if you have an emergency, you can call me right away. Like we're gonna walk you through and get you through your first successful harvest to guarantees you're gonna get your money back.
And that's part of the price when they buy this kit. Right. That comes with.
Right.
So they come pay you the money for the kit.
Right.
And then you'll be there like that for them. And not only be there, like call you, but you'll go over and help them set it up and get them rolling.
It's within a distance from the shop, obviously.
Oh, right, sure. If they were in Buffalo, you're not going to run out there every other weekend and help them.
There's so many ways I can go with that right now, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I want to get you. I don't want to get you in trouble.
With the house calls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the last thing in our mind, bud.
No, but I'm just saying, if that shit takes off and people start doing that, I could just see all the crazy shit.
I feel like
I do hope to, and I aspire to not have to actually be the one every single time that has to go to every single house.
But I feel like this has got to be kind of a mutual thing. Like he'll come out a couple of times and help you, but it's not going to be like, don't call me every fucking other day because your light won't turn on. Or something.
Like if you
he
need
loves
something,
the lotion on the skin.
What are you doing with your hand?
It rubs the lotion on the skin. It does this whenever it's told.
Let's see what we could do here about the. Oh, you're not done. I'm sorry.
So we'll give you your first successful harvest. That way, you get all the money you invested back, and that in turn will get you a opportunity to your next tier of a grower. So now you
can't lose.
No, but you buy a kit from me, you're not going to lose.
Is there a guarantee to that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So he will guarantee if you buy this kit off of him right now, we'll say it in front of 17,000 people. When this opens up, if you buy a kit off of him, he's going to guarantee that you're going to get a harvest.
Now that's 17,000 people.
Granted, there's
that's good math, Matt.
I feel like he copied that off my paper. But I mean, that's a lot of people. So I want to make sure it was speaking true before I said that in front of everybody, because there might be some people that get a hold or want to know about this place.
Right.
We got one here right now.
So as long as you germinate correctly, like we go over all of that, like you and. I don't know, you're not going to just buy a kit from me and then I set it up and then you forget to do anything for a month and be like, oh, my shit didn't take.
Right, you got to put a little effort into it yourself.
Right, like you have to.
But if there's legit effort and something went wrong, he's going to back that up by the sounds of it, correct?
Right, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So with that said, as long as you're not a lazy fucking asshole, you can't lose at that paying that money.
Investing in yourself is the easiest passive income you can ever have.
And a kit is a tent, correct? So if we cut that 96,000 in a third, because we did that off of 3 tents and one of them was a little small, but just for the ease of it,
32,000.
You could potentially, granted, it probably won't happen. It may be more, maybe less, but it's a plant, so we can't fucking guarantee that you're going to get in a certain amount of money. But you're pretty close to $30,000 you're going to make off of this first thing, and he's almost going to guarantee that $30,000. Not the money.
You're not going to make that your first harvest.
Oh no.
No, not an autoflower. No, not at all.
That's right. We were talking about shit that you've fucking cultivated over time and grown into that.
You're doing photos and you're
what would you say a first harvest could make? 10 grand? 8 grand?
Depends on if you. So it all depends.
I know there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, there's so many variables. You're going to have. So let's say if you don't listen and you don't do anything I tell you to do, and you just let the plant rock out, and you just give it fucked up pH water because you don't even pH your water, you're probably going to get like an ounce off your plant.
Oh, it could be that low.
Yeah, because you're going to the plant only absorbs.
And what does an ounce sell for? Like an ounce of that, say?
The ounce of that, $200.
And how much would this kit cost? Do you have any idea of that, or do you not want to mention that yet?
It all depends on size,
true.
and it depends on how strong your light.
I'm just trying. Do you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to make it like you
Right.
can't. I'm trying to decide if you.
Basically, you can get a kit for, again, depends on if you want a 4x4 or a 3x3 or if you want like a 2x or.
Can I get a 6x8?
Not a 6x8, but I can get you a 4x8.
Not good enough for Matt. He's got to be fucking difficult.
Yeah,
He's got to be.
I
Can
want
I get
it
a 9.5? Yeah, I need a 9.5 tent by 11 and 3/4.
Do you have a fully custom line at 77.5 inches?
I need a 10x8, really.
Jesus Christ.
You can do a 4x8. They have like 8x10s, 10x10s. Like you can.
Well, before the show's over, I want to go through all this again. I want to give people a way to get a hold of him if he's willing to, if you want
absolutely.
to do that, or look him up, or just like follow him on something if you're interested in just seeing pictures and shit like that.
So
maybe.
somebody hacked all our shit. Not too long
you were
ago.
saying your Instagram got all fucked.
Yep. So I hired somebody, and they're back to. They're just starting it off. So we'll go over that though.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Before, don't let me forget that. If you can help any of you to make sure we plug and give them all ways to get a hold of them and name the store and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you good with what you were saying now? Because I get like a tunnel vision for the show to try to keep it moving, and I forget.
Yeah.
I interrupt. I fucking interrupt people. Is what I do.
Talk. We have people on the show, but you won't let them fucking talk.
Here, be my guest and something which way.
Pretty much.
As long as you don't say anything I don't want you.
Would you rather?
So we've got the hardest would you rather questions for people who love weed. I read a couple of these. They seemed kind of decent. There was a bunch of shit ones out there, but I wanted to give a couple to him and see what his thoughts were, or any of us really, but being as though he's, the knowledge person about this. Number one, would you rather only smoke out of glass or only smoke paper for the rest of your life? At this moment, from here on out, that's your choice for the rest of your life.
Matt, did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that got to fucking do between paper and glass?
I was wondering too, but
I'll burn a roll of paper the rest of my life. I want to make sure you fucking get some fucked up fingers.
No, I'm too lazy for paper. I'd rather smoke out of glass.
Yeah, and you're too lazy to roll up paper. Imagine what the glass is going to look like. You're going to clean that bitch.
Fucking scrape it up. You get some fucking homemade fucking hashish.
Yeah, you just said you were lazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the paper.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say that?
Because I smoke more flour than I do any of the concentrates. So,
that goes better in a.
I think so. I think it'd get a little cleaner taste.
Matt, if you could smoke, would you pick paper or glass?
Really? A glass. I like the bowl because I like the bowl just for the fact where I can just take a hit or two, be good. Mm-hmm. If you roll a joint or a blunt, you got to take a couple hits and you got to butt it out, and then you got to remember where the fuck you put it and shit like that. No,
dude, you sound like the worst infomercial ever. Like, life's not that fucking hard, dude.
I remember shit.
Life is not that hard, my guy.
Skylar, glass or
Don't
paper?
Make me do stuff.
You could only pick one.
Can you even roll? Did it even do that at your age?
Listen.
Do you know what Mike Middles did?
Smoke out of glass. So it's, like you said, it's easier. And I don't know how to roll. But if I found out how to roll, I'd probably pick paper because I feel like a better high when I smoke a joint or a blunt than hitting the blunt.
Now, this is me, though. I feel when I smoke a joint or a blunt, I feel I have to smoke the whole fucking thing.
It's because you're a child inside a man's body.
That he is. That's why I like him, though. I don't look at that as a bad thing, but I do agree. I do agree with you.
You can only get so high. Once you're high, you're high. You can't
right, so put it out.
I don't. I just want to keep smoking.
You know what? You put it in the ashtray.
That's why I like the bowl.
You put it in the ashtray, and then you know where it is to go smoke the rest of it next time.
Don't leave it around.
Second question. You have to smoke 75 blunts a day or dab every hour. What do you pick, Matt?
75 blunts a day.
Okay.
I ain't fucking with a dab.
Ian? Oh, we didn't even talk about that. You do oils too, which we'll have to remember to go over that before the show's over.
We can have them back again.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't mind.
That's
do
true.
This multiple things.
Yeah, we can do
you're
this
right.
Many times as you want.
75 blunts a day or dab every hour.
I'm gonna go dab every hour just because that's a lot of fucking blunts and a lot of smoke going through your throat, man. Eventually, it's gonna.
I'm just fucking lazy.
Right. Give me the ultra concentrated form. How lazy is that to get it like that?
Skylar, dab or smoke? 75 blunts I get what you're saying. 75 blunts isn't 75 hits.
Right.
That's 75 fucking blunts.
Right. Like, that's a lot, man.
Right.
And whose blunts
I'm
are we?
picturing a
And who's rolling the
cigar.
blunts here? If I'm rolling the blunts, we're all fucked.
I'm dead.
I fucking roll Louisville's, man. Like, I want to be able to fucking know it's a blunt. You know what I mean? Don't come here with this broken twig. You can just go away with that.
I've smoked dab pens, but never taken a dab.
Yeah.
So originally I would say 75 blunts because I've smoked blunts and I like blunts and I can smoke them all day. Like,
word?
Not a problem. But the dab, I don't know because I don't know how I would feel after one.
Okay, so you don't really. It's hard for you to answer.
If you take like a bong hit of a dab, don't make any plans if you've never had one before.
Is that correct?
Don't make any plans for afterwards for a little while.
So there's a third question here. I'm going to skip it because this article came out before it was legal. Basically, the question was fail a drug test for your dream job or spend a week in jail for weed. But that's not even. It doesn't even. Oh, whatever. I guess we can answer it quick. Would you rather? I don't know. I think it's dumb. Anybody want to answer? Or you want to just skip to the?
I don't even understand. That's
right. Not only does it not make a whole lot of sense, but it's legal now, so that doesn't even affect.
I don't like it.
Number 4, have all the latest smoking gear and subpar bud, or the best strains of 2008, but only able to smoke it out of a can.
2018.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right.
So basically, you can have all the fucking best bowls and bongs and anything you want, but shitty weed.
No, give me the bud from 18.
Okay, so you'd rather smoke that shitty out of a shitty fucking tool.
Absolutely. Give me a fucking Coca-Cola can and the shit from 18.
You remember? You ever smoke out of an apple?
Yep.
I remember doing that when I was like, I didn't know. I don't know how. I couldn't tell you how to make it. In other words, but I've done it back in the day.
My aunt taught me how to smoke out of a tampon.
Holy shit!
Obviously, it's fucking clean, dickhead. It's never been used.
Holy fuck!
I was like, here, nephew.
Oh god!
Come on right over. I got us right here.
I never had no dope like that before in my life, man. That's the heaviest shit I ever smoked, man. I mean, I smoked a lot of shit before, man. But goddamn, man, that's heavy shit.
So you'd pick Matt? What would you pick? I'm trying to keep it a little quick. Skylar? Would you rather have good paraphernalia or good weed?
Do you even know what that is, smoking out of a can?
Yes, I do, and I've smoked off a quarter, and
You smoked off a quarter? I smoked off a quarter.
Hash.
We used to use sockets. Remember using? Did you ever use a socket out of a tool set?
Yep. Turn it into a bowl.
Yep. Number 5, would you rather smoke a joint with Wiz Khalifa or smoke a blunt with me too? Or smoke a blunt with Snoop Dogg?
I think that's our age.
Yep. I mean, that's hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Skylar?
I do like both, but I would go with Snoop too.
Oh, that's good. What the fuck just happened?
I got a sound for it.
Smoke weed every day.
Got a little fucking Snoop there for us. Yeah, definitely Snoop just because of my age. What was that? That was a... Wait a minute.
That sounded like fucking
Warren G and Regulators.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Nate Dogg. It's got dog in it, man.
Close enough. There's canine. Have an unlimited amount of mids or a 1-year supply of piff. I don't even know what that means.
Of piff?
Yes. She said the same thing when I asked her earlier. She said, I don't even know what piff is.
Piff. That's the piff shit.
So what it says under it, having essentially a lifetime supply of bud would be a huge financial relief, but smoking mids your whole life would get gold fast, and you'd probably end up buying some piff here and there anyway. Piff. A year supply of piff would definitely ease the financial burden. So I'm assuming piff means garbage.
Or piff means good weed.
Or piff means something else altogether.
Yeah, that's. Are you looking some stuff up?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Yeah, so the question, just while he's looking it up, keep the thing rolling here. Have an unlimited amount of mids or a 1-year supply of piff. To me, knowing nothing about this, mids is like
bad.
What are mids?
Mids are good.
It's like mid-level.
Yeah, you got your dirt weed,
so
mids,
medium.
and then your good
right.
shit.
So you have like the shit that has dead bugs and squish seeds and sticks and stems and all that, the nasty, what we used to have normal years ago. Then there's a step up, which is, it's like that, but it's no seeds in it, but it's kind of like dry and sticky, whatever. It's like the lower part of the plant. Then you have your mids, which has got like, it's pretty close to the top, but that was like the middle of the plant, so it's not like the top cola is where all the strength and the abundance of the nutrients go. So it's like the middle of the road, so you don't get as high from the THC as you would from the top of the plant. That's the difference. I would rather smoke the optimal.
So it's almost literally just the mid of the plant is kind of what it.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
it's like the mid-shelf liquor compared to the top
listen,
shelf
dude,
or
we're
the bottom
stoners. We're
shelf.
not that creative. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna figure out
It
ways.
just is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna get creative in ways to smoke it, but we're not. Yeah, the names are just gonna be whatever.
So, yeah.
Piff.
Well, we'll do 7 while he's looking it up, and then we can go back to 6. Would you rather live in a world where weed is legal? Oh, this is already, we're fucked up. Oh, well, you know what? We'll do this. This is a good one. Anyway, even though it is legal. Live in a world where weed is legal and alcohol is not, or a world where alcohol is legal and weed is not. So basically, would you rather have weed legal or alcohol legal?
Fucking weed, 100%. I would rather smoke than drink.
I think so too. Not even being a smoker, I would rather have weed legal than over alcohol.
Yeah, absolutely.
And cigarettes.
Any day of the week. I've never been a belligerent stoner in my life.
Sure.
Well, I get pretty fucking mean.
You're just that's just you.
You can't lay down a fucking plant.
That's your personality, not the shit you fucking put in your lungs.
Right. And you don't hear about people fucking getting high or smoking a joint and fucking mowing down a family of 30. You know? Like,
no.
They took out the whole fucking parade.
Would you say, Skylar, alcohol or weed? Weed, yeah. All right. That's
so
across the board.
Piff is a slang word for nonsense or rubbish or piffle.
Oh, so garbage. Okay, so garbage. So question 6 is would you rather have an unlimited amount of mids or a 1-year supply of trash
I want
weed?
the mids.
So are we asking as a financial standpoint?
No, would you rather smoke mids or just the shit?
Why are you getting so angry, bro?
I'm not. I'm just
asked
answering the
question.
fucking question, will you?
So this is a
It's not
stupid.
that hard.
I'm trying to understand it.
Right. Actually, if you think about this, it's a stupid question because would you rather have an unlimited amount of decent,
Right. So
or would you rather
that's
have
my point.
1-year supply of garbage? I'd most certainly rather
That's
have
my
a
point.
lifetime.
Better stuff.
Like, am I
Yeah.
gonna get stuck with the 1-year supply of the rubbish for that's it, and then the rest of my life I get fucking mids or
Oh,
better?
maybe in that case,
See,
right.
you know, you're thinking way too much now because when
That's
I
what
think,
human beings do.
well, no, because if I think too much in the question, I get, oh no, you're thinking too much. You know,
Because your shit doesn't make.
He gets so fucking
Oh
pissed.
fuck! The shades are
He
off.
gets so
Here
pissed
we
when I do
go.
that sensor beep thing.
He's not shaking yet, so you got a couple more times.
We'll do up to 10 because time is flying today.
That's what happens. Man.
It's when you're stoned, it probably goes by quick.
Dude, yep. It's like we just got here.
Number 8, have the hiccups every time you dab or fart nonstop every time you eat an edible.
I want to fucking fart nonstop.
Yeah.
So you'd rather edibles than
I prefer edibles out of all of them. I really prefer the edibles more.
I would do a fart nonstop, definitely.
Okay,
I hate
Skylar?
hiccups.
I'd rather have the hiccups every time I dab.
Really?
Yeah.
That must be a girl thing. Girls don't
I
fart.
don't do dabs, so I'm not going to be hiccuping, but I will eat edibles, so.
Oh, okay.
Then you'll fart.
Yep, it's gonna happen.
Number
Says
9.
right there.
Number 9, never smell like weed again or never have red eyes after smoking.
Never had red eyes.
Yeah.
I love the smell of weed.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't mind it either. I kind of like it.
So many different fragrances.
And look at everybody. Nobody ever really, you never worry about the smell of it, but everybody puts fucking Visine in before they go into work or do whatever. So, same for you? Okay. I kind of like when your eyes bleed, though, when you get really fucked. That's why I fuck with her all the time. I'm like, no, take 2 more hits. I like
You're
to see her.
strung out a little bit.
Number 10, always get an insane case of munchies or fall asleep every time you smoke.
Munchies.
Yeah, I'd rather have munchies.
Munchies.
I guess when you think into it, I could get pretty fucking fat. If I smoked all day, every day, I'd get fucking fat.
No,
doing
that's
that.
when my parents knew I was stoned. Come home late at night and I'd be in the kitchen fucking cooking up some crazy shit. And my mom be like, what the fuck you doing? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm hungry.
That was the alcohol.
Weird thing, though. Weird thing about that, though. I don't know if I know very many fat stoners. For some reason, you
I
think
know
there'd be a lot more. Well, yeah, you know a bunch of people anyway. But okay, so that makes sense then.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Smoke a
before
lot,
this
eat a lot.
job, I was a fat stoner.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of hurt.
Now you're just
that's
fat?
A little hurt now.
Now you just quit the weed.
Yeah.
Poor fella. All right, so we
Now
did
you got
10
no
out of like
excuse.
17, but we got to keep moving along because we're at an hour and 40 minutes.
Dude, the sex thing, too.
Yeah, we got a bunch of shit that we might have to stick around and have him back again and
Yeah,
do
I
more.
think we're going to have to do a part 2.
Yep. Sorry,
yeah.
guys. I told you this was
For sure. Let's go on to the quiz. I want to test his knowledge on this, and I think this is good for the first episode to get people to come back and listen to the next one.
Sure.
Let's take a cannabis knowledge test, basically for Ian. Oh, it's time, too.
Cannabis concentrate called.
How is this cannabis? What the fuck? How is this What is this cannabis concentrate called? Can you tell by looking at that?
It's fucking Keef.
The answers are sand, cake, BHO, or Keef. And
It actually looks like a moon rock. But
he's saying Keef. We're going to click on it. There's timed, so I'm going to have to scoot along with this. The answer is correct. Keef refers to the resinous trichomes of cannabis that may accumulate. That's what this is here? Mm-hmm. This is Keef.
Yep.
Is that more potent?
So that's really strong, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
I like to sprinkle.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, this is the shit you had me fucking squeezing. I got my fucking like onions and shit.
Yep.
Oh, you said that you sprinkle that over a new bowl when you That's the shit in the bottom of that grinder you have, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah. All right, next question. I'm going to be kind of quick. Who was buried with a nug of weed? Bob Marley, John F. Kennedy, Tupac, or John Lennon?
I'm going to say Tupac. Marley would be. I would assume he was buried with a joint.
Oh, all right. Because I read something about it, and I was going to go Bob Marley because of what I read, but you switched it. So you're going to say Tupac?
Maybe.
And this is for Ian this time. Incorrect. Bob Marley is buried with his
Sam?
Gibson Les Paul guitar, a soccer ball, and a cannabis nug, and a Bible.
Why the nug? Why didn't he just give him a spliff? That's what he's known for.
Yeah.
Right. Next question. What you see in the photo is a cannabis seedling, a cannabis clone. Neither or both. He says cannabis clone. It's basically a picture of something. Correct. Cannabis clone is a cutting, such as a small branch taken from a living marijuana plant, which will grow into a plant itself. Unlike seedling, it already has true cannabis leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. What is the best place to dry up your cannabis yield? Dark, cool place with humidity around 55%. Bright, warm place.
Dark, cool place with 55%.
Okay. The other one's outside under the sun, or it doesn't matter. He says dark, cool place with humidity around 55%. He is correct. A dark place with temperature around 68 degrees and humidity levels around 55% are the best conditions to dry up your cannabis.
Yep, 10%. 10 difference.
Next question. Who was the first U.S. citizen arrested for selling weed? Jack Harrer, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, or Samuel Caldwell?
I'm going to go with Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy Caldwell. Ian
or
goes
Jack Harrer.
And he was right. Samuel R. Caldwell was the first person convicted and sentenced to prison for selling cannabis under the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937, according to the federal files. Looks like an old fucking moonshiner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was just a farmer, bro.
How many people have died from a marijuana overdose? 10, 5, 0, or 3?
0.
0 is correct. Not a single person has ever died from a weed overdose. According to studies, a marijuana smoker would have to consume 20 to 40,000 times the amount of THC in a joint in order to be at risk of dying. Next question. What are these things?
Trichomes.
He knew that real quick. The possible answer, it's not related to cannabis, unborn cannabis babies. Trichomes is cannabis fertilizer. What did I say? What is it?
Trichomes.
Trichomes. Correct. It's magnified trichomes there. So they look like tentacles.
Yep, that's the THC part of that you're looking for.
So that's what gets you high.
Yep, right now that's pre-flower. It's not ready yet. When they're clear like that, it's not ready. Then they turn cloudy.
See, that's beautiful.
That's the cloudy is like
it's pretty. It looks like a fantasy photo with those like
I would sit on that.
But then you go to
oh my god,
explains so much. And I'm sure you're just itching your leg right now again, right? Fucking weird.
Next
Why
question.
am I just sitting this side?
What type of effect can you expect when smoking a joint made from this plant? A mind high and energetic. A deep relaxation and sleepy, neither or no effect. It's basically just a pot leaf.
Yeah, mind high, energetic, or you mean both in the first two? Where's the option? Why is neither no effect?
No,
because
because I think that plant's a fucking hemp plant.
Okay, you think there's a little fucking trivia trick there, huh?
There's no buds in it. It's just fucking a pot leaf. So
I want to see. Let's see what it says because they have two.
Well, let's let it run out and see what happens. Let's see. Let them fucking answer it since they're so smart.
Neither, no effect. Like that's two of the same fucking answer.
It's basically looks like just like a typical pot leaf you would see in the timeout. The answer from the broadleafs you can spot that it is.
It's an indica.
Is an indica. Yeah. This plant makes you feel relaxed, calm, and
does it?
And
you can tell that just by the fucking leaf.
Yeah, indicas are fat, big fat broad leaves, and the sativas are long, skinny, narrow leaves.
See, that's why I like sativa. I'm not big on big fat broads.
I know.
Everybody's got a story, bud. Don't deny it.
Which type of cannabis is this? Indica sativa, ruderalis, or neither?
That could be ruderalis.
Oh, there we go.
But I think it's probably a sativa, but it could be ruderalis.
He's going to go with sativa, but if it's ruderalis, we're okay with that. And he's correct with sativa. There are 3 types of cannabis: sativa, indica, and ruderalis. Now, what is it? We've talked about indica and sativa.
Ruderalis is a strain that was found in Siberia because that's how you get your autoflowers. Ruderalis, they have a growing season of like 14 weeks. So the plant knows that it has 3 weeks to fucking beef itself up and then rock the fuck out the next 10 because I'm dying anyway. And then we got to make sure that the next plant can survive.
Do you have any of that type?
Yeah.
Dan, what like you've talked about, indica is into couch, so it's a sleepy type, and that sativa is upper.
Ruderalis, all they do is they usually is crossbred with like a ruderalis. So they'll have like a Gorilla Glue number 4, right? And then
I love Gorilla Glue.
And then they'll cross it with a ruderalis, and then you'll have an autoflower.
Okay.
So if you're crossing with an indica, it's going to be indica heavy dominant. So it's called a hybrid, but it'll be like,
so you can make ruderalis do whatever you want, more or less. You can make it either a sativa effect
it's gender
or
neutral.
Right.
It does whatever it wants.
Right. Yep.
All right.
It identifies as whatever.
Can you identify these insects?
Thripes.
Thripe. Why, it's quick. The answers were thripe, spider mites, fungus gnats, or caterpillars.
Might be mites, but they're thripes.
It's going to be tough for even YouTube to see that, but they're little things. Incorrect. It is a spider mite. They are. Oh, you did say that, didn't you? Say, or it might be mites.
Yep.
Okay. They're hard to see even for us, so I can kind of give them
little
that.
tiny red brown freckles.
Next question: how to make the high, quote unquote, effect stronger and last longer? Eat
it.
Eat some mangoes. Chew some black pepper. Eat a burger or drink a glass of Coke.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with eat some mangoes.
And we're gonna try that. This seems like a weird question.
Yeah, it's really fucking weird.
And he was right. Mangoes have terpenes, such as which are always found in marijuana. Once you consume a mango, the terpenes go directly to your bloodstream, and if you feel too high, eat a few black peppers. Also, black peppers will make you...
So I'm just going to go ahead and... I'm just going to say the terps aren't really what get you high, so to speak.
Oh, really?
Right.
All right, we'll explain that a little bit.
Terps are what gives it kind of goes along with phenotypes. Terps are what gives it its fragrance, what gives it its flavor.
Okay.
I went over that earlier about the phenotypes and how the marijuana plant has the most different terps and phenotypes of any other planet on the planet.
Right.
So when you make concentrates, you're essentially, because you start losing them, the hotter you start doing your press to make your rosin or to make your butter or your diamonds, whatever, the hotter you get, the more and more and more of the terps that you're burning off are being disintegrated. So, if you want to go down to distillate, what the guy took that shot of in that syringe.
Yeah, in that video.
That is straight just THC. All the terpenes are taken out. Everything is stripped out of that, and it's just pure
Skylar,
it's 96% THC.
Do you have any interest in sitting here for 2 seconds while I go to the bathroom?
Okay.
And just talking, and I don't maybe just scroll up and hit next and stuff. I have got. It's going to leak down my leg if I don't go.
It's touching cotton.
Oh, it's horrible.
I wasn't tuned into where you guys were, though, so.
We just did that.
Well, you gotta go hit next.
I knew this was gonna happen, buddy.
Whoa, look at me.
Well, that didn't happen.
What the fuck?
Oh no, what you do?
I don't know. Why isn't it clicking next?
I have no idea.
Well, let's start over. Hopefully we can get through it again before he comes back.
No, I don't want to start all over again.
I'm joking.
What?
What the fuck did you do, Skylar?
You do that, baby. We ran out of time. Is that the end of the quiz? Oh no, it's 11 out of 17. Can you,
it's on it, see?
What have you...
Are you double clicking?
It minimizes. Oh, yep.
You just done fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You're over. You're done.
Okay, well, how the type of marijuana roll? The cigars. How it's a blunt. Right, what type?
A blunt.
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right, you're right. A blunt is a roll with cannabis inside a cigar. It comes from the Philly's Blunt cigar brand. Cool. When making puff, puff, and pass, how many times can you smoke before passing the joint?
Twice.
Yeah, two.
The answer is
Puff,
fucking
puff.
2.
It's in the fucking answer.
Duh. Oh my god, this double click shit is fucking me up. What stoners refers to as caching?
It's fucking spent.
I've never even heard of that though.
You just take a last hit.
I've never heard that. Oh my god. I'm
Dude,
fucking your shit. I am fucking your shit all up.
Oh, she just said fuck twice less.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the button is. But this.
Well, you gotta look at it this way, man. She's got a heavy finger. It's good for you.
I'm like, click it on this fucking thing.
Not for me. It's good for Wes.
See?
You really actually did.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you do that? Get back over here.
Hey, come on, let's go.
Oh. When do trichomes start to form? After 2 to 3 weeks? After 3 to 4 weeks in the flowering stage? When a plant forms first leaves or after the
3
harvest?
to 4 weeks in the flowering.
All right. You gotta be the clicker here. Oh yeah. See?
What's going on here?
Right. All right. Correct. Most trichomes will begin appearing at least 3 to 4 weeks in the flowering stage of cannabis plant.
That's some things you thought were ugly.
Yeah, they look like little worms to me.
So
That's that shit.
That's a thing of beauty right there.
Yeah.
That's when whatever that plant is, that's when it's at its peak.
Well, we got
potency.
a lot better. We would have had a lot better than 11 out of 17 because the first couple ones when she came in just answered incorrect
Yeah, because
right
I was
away.
double clicking. I was like, what the hell's going on here?
You probably would have got, 13, 14 out of...
Yeah, I definitely got 2 wrong.
Well, look, down here it shows you.
But when
But
they were right. I still got to write the second one now. Yeah.
See, once we got down here, I started just
Yeah,
freaking
15,
clicking
16.
random
Yeah,
shit.
so-
I'm like, what the hell?
It was actually, so he only got like 2 wrong.
Yeah, 10,
Yeah.
12, 15, 16, I didn't even get.
Yeah.
Question 10, 9% of people got this incorrect, and we got it. Professional, we got it incorrect. That must have been a weird one.
I didn't get to read it.
Oh, you didn't? But let's see what this one was. Can you do that? Can you identify these instances?
Oh, yeah, we did that one.
Yeah, but look at, people don't understand that are
I
listening
thought that
to
was
this.
stripes.
You
but
can't even see
But
them.
then I also said it could be mites. That was one of the ones I got right the second time around.
We're at 1 hour and 51 minutes. Do you want to wrap this up?
I'll come back, man.
Yeah, we'll do some of the other
No,
stuff.
I think we should be like one of those regular guest type things. Every so often he comes in and especially when the business starts going and shit.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would definitely say
And then
structure it.
you figured out phone calls and shit now, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah,
So-
you could just call
Yeah,
him, too.
yeah.
Or
could-
that, or maybe we can get if some of our listeners got questions for
Yeah.
the fucking weed guy,
Yeah.
for Sticky
give
Iggy.
him like a 15
Problem
minute
is, it's
segment.
tough. We never know when we're going to record. So how people don't know when to...
Well, obviously,
If you do a morning show, people call in between 6 and 10 every morning, and it's fine, but...
obviously we'll have to plan a little ahead on this one.
Yeah, well, it ain't as easy as you think. You think
no,
this
I do
shit's
think
so
it's easy. You just don't plan.
All right, well, so 3 days from now, we're going to record. Give us a call.
Well, yeah. So say next show. So we'll sit down and we'll talk and be like, all right, on this week we're having
We'll give it a shot
Sticky
for you.
Iggy coming back.
All right.
So we're going to be here at this time.
What I can do and would probably work is if we know he's coming back a couple weeks ahead of time, we'll have people emailing questions or comment questions on shit.
Very good. See,
that'll
you just
work.
you just answered your own shit.
I'm completely willing to do the phone thing. I just don't think it's as easy as you think it is to get
I don't
people
give
to-
a what. Just I didn't say it.
Nobody cares. They listen to this for something to do while they're doing other shit. Nobody's gonna
How do you know?
Because they tell me.
They don't tell me.
No.
Is it just one or two? Who's everybody? Tell me who the fuck everybody is.
Apparently you're not that big of a deal.
Yeah, maybe you're not as big of a deal as you think you are.
Tell me everybody, because everyone says everybody. Who's everybody?
How much time you got?
Well, they ain't everybody.
Is it all 17,000 listeners?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through. I'll write down a list of all 17,000, and we'll decide.
Be here.
So listen, we're coming up to 2 hours, but I want to plug his business. I want to get people a way to get a hold of him if need be, message him or whatever, or just follow. Like I said, just follow his pictures and shit. What is the name of? Do you have a name picked out for this?
So Instagram is going to be Sticky Iggy Cannabis Cannabis Club 518.
Sticky Iggy Cannabis Club 518.
Yeah, some scumbag kept stealing my shit and literally putting pictures of me up and pretending he was somebody else. Like, yeah. And then you try to contact Instagram, and they pretty much tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yep, that is true. Same with TikTok and all of them.
So now I hired somebody to do it for me, but they're just starting out. So
yeah,
I think by the end of Monday, we should have a lot of our photos back up there.
All right. So by Monday, there'll be stuff to go look at and see and so forth.
I want to know what the hell my name is anyway, right? Makes sense.
And he was saying in about a month, the store is going to be open.
Yeah. Sticky Iggy Canna Club 518.
Sticky Iggy. Say that one more time.
Sticky Iggy Canna Club 518.
Okay.
That's the Instagram.
That's Instagram.
You got Sticky Iggy on Facebook.
Okay.
Was it 518? Sticky Iggy 518 for Snapchat. Like, there's so many social medias.
Sure.
And I'm fucking
If they got one or two. Yeah, if they got one or two, I'm sure they could put two and two
Look
together
up
and
Sticky Iggy without an S, because there's a gentleman in Nevada who has Sticky Iggy's, and it is a food truck. So you're going to be really disappointed when you go to Google it and you add an S, like it's Walmart's. Like everybody extra adds an S to everything, but it's not really there.
Right.
So
and this store, what is the name of that store going to be?
It's going to be Sticky Iggy.
Okay, Sticky Iggy.
Yep.
And the address?
1314 Central Avenue.
If anybody's interested, if anybody's interested, if has any questions now, you could probably get a hold of him on, like he said, after Monday on this Instagram this page, which Monday is when this episode comes out, the 15th, because sometimes people listen to these like a month or two later, so you'll be all set. It'll be open most likely.
Yep. We'll have our website up and running as well. You know, part of our thing is we're going to be open later than any other nursery or garden supply center. Like, they all close at 6.
Okay.
You got to work at 5. You got to beat feet to the store in order to make it before they close. By the time you get home, you got like a half hour, an hour window.
So what are you thinking? Like 8,
So
9?
probably like 9 or 10 o'clock. You know, depending on business. You know, if people aren't coming in at 9 or 10.
And to be clear, you don't sell weed, correct?
Correct.
Until something with the government happens, and then you probably would, I'm guessing.
Right.
But to keep things legal, he will not sell you weed.
Right.
At this stage in the game, but basically anything to create your own weed, you can get from him.
He can give you the dirt and the seed, and the nutrients, and
from the pot to the fucking to the pipe you smoke it out
from
of.
start to finish. We got you all everywhere in between.
And you can do pipes and bongs and stuff. You can do that, so he'll have that.
Yep.
So basically, from the dirt to the fucking item that you want to smoke.
We're going to offer the Delta 8, a Delta 9 for the time being, just to have it there. But you know.
By the sounds of it, you don't even recommend that. I mean,
everybody has each their own. You know what I mean? Like, if I can help people not have pain, because for some people that really, really helps. Like fibromyalgia, really, really helps them out.
So there is a benefit.
I'm actually growing CBD plants for my mother's friend because she has really bad medical issues, and I tried giving her, I think it was Gorilla Glue that was it was Girl Scout cookie that was meant for fibromyalgia. And she hadn't smoked since she was in high school, and she's in her 60s. So you can imagine what that did. You know, like, here's me with the 25%, THC potency, and when she smoked, it was like 9. So, she was like, "Yeah, I couldn't handle it." I'm like, "Yeah, my bad."
I try not to make
goes, I didn't feel any fucking pain, but she was like, I couldn't do anything else either.
All right, guys, this is episode 51. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate a lot of information, a lot of fucking, and I feel like we could get a whole nother 2 hours out of this, and just as information stories about.
Yeah, but I need a cigarette though.
Yeah, I definitely need a cigarette.
I'm good. It's getting hot in here.
Talk as long as you want to. I mean, I will definitely come back, man.
So yeah, we'll definitely have him back in the future to finish up and get some more information. Hopefully, maybe then it'll be after his store, and we can give you even further information on that. The Catskill Mountain Moonshine Show is next weekend. I am losing my fucking mind over it. I figured out a way to make Did I tell you I figured out how to get my phone to be a mic so somebody can carry it around to answer questions?
Why are you losing your mind? Everything will be fine.
Well, it's different. We're sitting in a room. It's no big deal. We just say whatever we want. I can edit it.
It's fine.
But in there's going to be 50, 100 people sitting there wanting us to entertain them. It's not going to be easy. Oh, I know what you're doing. You're just being positive. Good for you.
No, I'm not being positive. I've stood up in front of I've stood up.
Well, yeah, eventually.
Short attention spans.
Right, starts at 8. Hopefully, they start drinking about 6.
You just got to hold them for like 10 minutes.
I've stood up in front of big crowds and give speeches and shit.
You are a big deal. You are a big deal.
Even before the big deal bullshit, I used to do that. So I don't even want to fucking hear it.
Well, I'm getting the
fucking head shake right now because I'm getting fucking aggravated.
Hopefully, your attitude will help me and Mike along. Mike said he's getting a little. It's not easy. This is not easy, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna fucking do it. It's gonna be entertaining.
And if it bombs, it's on you. So it's your fucking show. So
yeah. It's he's a big deal until it doesn't do good. Then all of a sudden, I'm nobody
for him.
Right. All right, guys. That's episode 51. Now I think we're gonna do an episode next Monday before that show because I'm not gonna be able. If I'm spending the night down there all shit faced and after the show I'm gonna drink some of the moonshine. And then we're going to stay in a hotel. I'm not going to want to edit that show all on Sunday and have it out for Monday. So I think the next show, episode 52, will be a regular show. And then 53 will probably be
that.
Right. And I also don't know, for anybody that likes to watch us on YouTube, I don't know if there's going to be a video version of that show.
No,
audio.
If there is, it won't be video friendly. So if you want to see it, you're gonna have to come down and see us.
The problem is to put the camera where we need to put it is going to be so fucking hard and far away that I've kind of decided for the ease of it. Maybe I'm just being lazy, but for this first one, I think I'm just going to do audio and I'll put a picture of us on the YouTube channel and just a solid picture you can listen to. So. You ain't going to be able to see us anyway.
You can do like a slideshow. Have someone take pictures. Have someone take pictures of the show going on, and then we'll do a little slideshow that keeps repeating with the show or whatever.
Perfect. We're shooting for an hour show. We're shooting for an hour show for that because it is also a bar, and at some point people are going to want to just drink and have fun and do their own thing and not listen to us bullshit. So if people are into it, we'll keep going. If not, we'll quit. And so either way, I'm going to drink some awesome fucking moonshine and have a good time. Mm-hmm. Ian, are you guys thinking of going down there or no?
I'm not sure what we have planned that day, honestly.
Okay.
I feel like we have something planned that day.
Do you or does the other one have something planned?
When do I ever think anything planned?
Well, when you do, obviously it doesn't
happen anyway. So it doesn't matter. That's why I don't plan anymore.
I think I'll fix that shit when we get back tonight.
I feel like
I'm about to piss her off.
Don't do that.
Great.
I gotta fucking ride home with
go home with her.
Come on. Don't be that guy.
Oh my God.
Come on, I am that guy.
Yeah, well, stop.
All right, guys. Episode 51. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on 52. We'll keep you updated on the moonshine and weed. Hey, whore.
Hey, whore.
Hey, whore.